Hi, I'm Brandi Thomas in Southern California. We are focused in Idlewild, the little mountain town. Here's the book, The Golden Handoff by Nick Crowder. How to Buy and Sell a Real Estate Agent's Business. This book should be a required reading for real estate professionals everywhere, says Toby Salgado. Praise. Nick Crowder has done a phenomenal job of documenting his success with one specific strategy that will increase every real estate professional's business when implemented correctly. Jessica Garcia, co-founder and CEO of Pipeline Wizard. What's next in the real estate industry? After reading The Golden Handoff, this is definitely something to learn, master, and implement. Lisa Archer, CEO of Live Love Homes, Keller Williams Mega Agent Expansion. I've interviewed over 500 of the nation's real estate top performers, and Nick's strategy presents a new model for real estate agents. This book should be a required reading for real estate professionals everywhere. Toby Salgado, Managing Director of the Real Estate Radio Experts, host of award-winning Super Agents Live podcast, and the best-selling author of Utilizing Radio as a Real Estate Agent. The Golden Handoff is a new playbook for any brokerage that not only wants to recruit agents and grow their operation, but also wants to make sure that the current business stays under their roof when agents retire. Steve Yeager, Vice President in Sales at Old Republic Title in Oregon. The Golden Handoff is a perfect resource for any real estate agent looking to grow their business efficiently and effectively, or for those agents retiring or transitioning into something different. They don't simply want to walk away from their years of hard work. Patrick Woods, CEO and team leader at Keller Williams, Roseville, California. The Golden Handoff identifies and lays out both a path that can help you learn from the successes of others and accelerate the growth of your business. Nick Crowder does a brilliant job of explaining how he successfully executed the Golden Handoff and how you can do the same. Pat Hibon, New York Times International Best-Selling author of 6 Steps to 7 Figures, a real estate professional's guide to building wealth and creating your own destiny. The Golden Handoff by Nick Crowder. How to Buy and Sell a Real Estate Agent's Business. This book is dedicated to the agents who have trusted me with their clients and the adopted agents around the world about to embark on the journey of taking the baton from retiring agents and winning the race. Contents: Forward, Preface, Adopting and Retiring, Introduction, My Journey so far in adopting clients and growing my business. Part 1 is the relay team. 1. Choosing and adopting agents. 2. Finding retiring agents. 3. The database. 4. Money. Part 2. The starting line. 5. Choosing a level of involvement. 6. Staying connected. 7. Ongoing referrals. Part 3. The starting gun. 8. The contracts. Part 4. The Golden Handoff. 9. Marketing. 10. Systems. 11. The Golden Handoff. Part 5. The Finish Line. 12. Letting Go. 13. Hurdles. 14. Winning the Race. Resources. Acknowledgments about the author. Forward. I think most of us have heard the old adage, those who know do and those who don't teach. Well, when it comes to Nick Crowder and this book, The Golden Handoff, it's clearly written by someone who's done it. Not only has he done it, but now he shows others how to do the same. This step-by-step approach Nick offers is not only unique, but it's a system that literally anyone can follow. He laid out a plan for his business, followed it, and enjoyed the fruit of his labor. Now he shares it with others so they too can prosper in a way they may not have thought possible. His strategy is so simple, yet why has no one else written this book? I think the answer is it takes incredible effort to write any book, much less a book that provides such specific detail, examples, and stories the reader can relate to. My hat is off to Nick for having the self discipline and perseverance to compile a manual for successfully maneuvering through the many obstacles this book reveals. For the millions of real estate agents set to retire in the coming decades, the Golden Handoff will change their lives. Agents will be able to retire sooner and make money even after they stop selling. The Golden Handoff is so easy, you'd be crazy not to implement the process. For the wave of new agents building their businesses and for seasoned agents alike, this book shows you how to add clients by the hundreds, not just one at a time. Nick has taken the ideas of a referral business and exponential growth and put them together in an elegant and simple process. Save yourself the aggravation, frustration, and uncertainty of how to effectively create a consistent stream of referral business and simply follow the steps shared in Nick's journey. To have watched Nick's real estate career explode because of these principles he shares in this book is one of the many joys of my 39-year real estate career. If you're looking for a step-by-step system to increase your real estate sales, look no further, you found it. Rick DeLucia, international speaker and trainer. Preface: Adopting and retiring. At some point, we all want to retire. One day we'll decide to move to other passions and pursuits in life. When we're retiring from real estate, this can mean relaxing and taking days off, or perhaps the first time after years of being on call 7 days a week. It can also mean letting go of relationships and a steady stream of income. It could mean leaving our clients to struggle as they continue their real estate purchases without their trusted agent. It doesn't have to, though. There is a way to retire from real estate with relaxation and free time to maintain an income stream and to ensure our clients are well taken care of. In this book, I share a method for helping agents retire that I've discovered and redefined over my career. This Golden Handoff method involves working with what I call an adopting agent. An adopting agent continues on where the retiring agent leaves off by tending to the adopting agent's clients and their needs. This book outlines the process to make this handoff very easy for the retiring agent and lucrative for both agents. Adopting agents can be dramatically grown in their number of clients and income, and retiring agents can get years of referral income with as little or as much efforts as they choose. For any real estate agents looking to rapidly and dramatically grow their business, there are a few opportunities as big as the adopting clients of a retiring agent. For agents looking to retire, this book lays out a process to continue to benefit from their years of dedication and service to their clients. No longer will agents just walk away from their businesses after retirement parties and let their clients disperse as they close down their marketing campaigns. Even the clients are winners with this plan. For them, a great agent is their go-to person, and when they buy or sell, as well as when they need a vendor referral or have a question. An agent who just retires and walks away leaves these people who've supported their agent's career in a void. But when we retiring agents make their referral to an adopting agent, they show just how much they respect and appreciate their client's loyalty and support. Trust me on this one. The clients will thank the retiring agent for thinking of them and making sure they are covered even as the retiring agent is leaving the business. Why the Golden Handoff works? My advice in this book is informed by the guiding principle that all successful deals must be mutually beneficial and sustainable. With the Golden Handoff, all three parties, the retiring agent, the adopting agent, and the clients, benefit. Furthermore, the method is sustainable. To be clear, though, the plan is not simply transferring data from one agent to another. That is neither beneficial nor sustainable. The most critical part of this whole plan is how you transfer and maintain the client relationships and trust that the retiring agent has spent years to build. These relationships are the baton that gets passed from one run-in or relay race to the next. It's the most valuable part of the race. If someone drops it, everyone on the team loses. But if it's handled well, everybody wins. This book teaches you how to close your relay team with adopting agent and retiring agent, step up to the starting line to prepare everything for a necessary and successful handoff, begin the race with a strong contract, pass the baton, and finish the race. If you follow the steps I lay out, whether you're a retiring agent or an adopting agent, you will win the race for your clients and for yourself. How to use this book. My goal is to help adopting agents to grow their business and retiring agents to benefit from their years of hard work. The fact that clients maintain a critical and trusted resource in the adopting agent only serves to make this system more valuable. It's a true win win. Chapters 1 through 14 will walk you through the steps of the Golden Handoff and various ways each step can be carried out. Because the adopting agents will be doing most of the work in the Golden Handoff, most chapters are addressed to them. However, chapters 1, 5, 6, and 12 speak specifically to the retiring agents. You'll see the retiring agents, it's a symbol, it's a black circle, it says retiring agents, symbol to signify this. And every chapter ends with tips and tricks section for each agent. There are also milestones in each chapter to help you check off your progress along the way. My advice is both agents read the book in its entirety, taking special note of the sections addressed specifically to their role. Throughout the book, you'll see profiles of 3 agents I've helped retire: Martha, Renee, and David. I also include hypothetical scenarios to help you understand the full spectrum of how this relationship can work. Online at thegoldenhandoff.com and through the book, you can see copies of contracts, letters, emails, and scripts I use for adopting retiring agents' clients. Check thegoldenhandoff.com often for additional resources, videos, and updates. Furthermore, I'll be available to coach and consult individuals, groups, and companies on how they can successfully implement the handoff. If someone gave you this book, I hope you thank them and buy a copy to share with anyone you know who can benefit from this process. Before we jump into the steps of making your Golden Handoff successful, let me share how the Golden Handoff got started. Introduction: my journey so far in adopting clients and growing my business. I didn't start out in real estate. I wanted to be a musician and songwriter. So, with a scholarship to San Francisco State University, I graduated with a degree in marketing and music. My education led to a valuable degree, but what I really learned in college was this: if you are passionate and work hard, people will help you more than you ever expect. Don't make assumptions or put limits on yourself. You have to ask for what you want and be willing to work hard to get it. Chapter 2: Finding Retiring Agents. As I mentioned earlier, I started as an adopting agent almost accidentally. The first retiring agent I worked with was Renee, whose office was next to mine. She remarked a few years into our agreement that she knew I would do a good job because she heard me talking on the phone through our share walls all day, every day. Although you might get lucky and have a great agent like Renee in the next office decide to retire and give you her clients, it doesn't hurt to be on the lookout for others. I want to give you some ways that you can be proactive. First things first, though, you need to know about the 3 kinds of retiring agents. Kinds of retiring agents. Of course, not all retiring agents are the same. Their varying retirement goals can differ significantly and affect how each of the Golden Handoff steps plays out. This is a story best told by 3 agents whose clients I have adopted. Each person is retiring from real estate for a different reason and has maintained different levels of involvement with their clients and their old business. Martha Overton is 62 years old, and she started selling real estate in her 30s, 30 years ago, when her kids started school. Real estate was a perfect fit for her schedule, and she was able to contribute much to her family's financial well-being. Now she's ready to move on to new things and enjoy retirement with her husband, who can't wait to travel more now that he is also retired himself. Martha is looking forward to checking her email once a week and not having a cell phone ringing at her ear at night with a worried first-time buyer on the other end of the line. Martha is excited to be totally done. Renee Hawthorne left a solid career in a nonprofit sector and built a thriving and successful real estate business. In 7 years, she had helped many high end clients buy, sell, and invest, and she had a great income. When she had her first child, she came back to work quickly. She had clients who needed her, and she took her clients' needs very seriously. She managed to balance work and family with one child, but after having a second child, she knew that a change was needed. Working 6 or 7 days a week just wasn't working anymore, even if the money was great. Going back to work in the nonprofit world would give her much needed time for her family, but she struggles to walk away from the real estate income. She loves helping buyers and sellers, but also wants someone else to handle the weekend showings, late night calls, and difficult negotiations. Renee's ready to step back from the day of an agent and be a consultant. David Belmont is a gifted and multi talented young man. Real estate was a perfect fit for him to have great income and the flexibility to pursue his passions and talents with movies. David started in real estate in the same year that I did, and he'd built an impressive business and had a stellar reputation among other agents. While David was more successful in both real estate and movies than most people, he knew he would never reach his potential in either industry unless he decided himself to be dedicated to one of these pursuits. He received an incredible offer to join a movie production in Los Angeles. It was a proverbial offer that you can't refuse, and he accepted. David can't stomach walking away from his real estate business completely, so he decided to work with me as an adopting agent so he can maintain his real estate business as a delegator. Nearly all retirement agents are looking something like one of these three. Totally done, Martha Overton. Consultant, Renee Hawthorne. Delegator, David Belmont. We'll see these agent scenarios crop up in later chapters as examples of how the golden handoff can work best with each type of retiring agent. Now, let's get back to finding the perfect retiring agent. Finding agents who are looking to retire is much like finding clients who want to buy and sell and invest, so you probably won't be surprised to learn that the most effective method for finding agents who are retiring is networking. You can also use production analysis to identify potential retiring agents, and no matter what, use successful marketing strategies to follow opportunities and stay connected with the agents planning to retire. Networking. I have the benefit of being in the largest residential brokerage in my city, which also happens to be the largest in the country. With almost 200 agents, there's always people starting their careers and other people moving on to new things. Most of the retiring agents that I've helped had been at my brokerage, and only a few were totally done like Martha Overton. Most agents who say they're retiring are actually pursuing new careers or focusing on other passions like David and Renee. I mention this so you don't only focus on older agents that have been in the business for a long time. My most productive agreement was with David, an agent who was my age and pursued his creative passions with movies. I found out David was moving to Los Angeles through a home inspector that we both knew. You see, David and I started right at the beginning of the Great Recession, and most new agents didn't make it through that time. Because David and I both grew our businesses in this environment, our home inspector knew we were both cut from the same cloth. And when he learned that David was moving out of town, he mentioned it to me. Just as word of mouth brings clients, it can also connect you with the ideal retiring agent. If you're networking inside your brokerage, be sure to let your HR person, team leader, or reviewing broker know that you're interested in adopting the clients of agents who may be exiting the business. My relationship with my team leader, Mindy, has been invaluable in connecting with retiring agents. When Martha was thinking of retiring, the first person she told at the company was Mindy, and because I had already helped a few other agents successfully, she immediately introduced Martha to me. If you are at a smaller brokerage or working on your own, look to build relationship through broker tours, realtor associations, or other agent marketing groups. I imagine going on a broker tour and noticing that a successful agent who sold 50 homes last year doesn't seem to have anything on tour. You attend a broker luncheon and that agent is notably absent. You also realize that his half-page ad in the weekly paper is gone. Things have all the signs of someone winding down his business without a plan, and it's a prime opportunity for you to get in touch with them. Also, ask your colleagues for referrals. If anyone they know who might be retiring, make it a practice to let other agents know that you're open to adopting their clients when they retire and making sure they benefit from all their years of hard work. Staying aware of the community of other agents will help you find opportunities to adopt clients. Production analysis. If, after networking among your communities, you still want to grow your list of potential retiring agents, there's more you can do, but be smart about it. You could email and call every agent in your area, but unless you want to invest a lot of hours for very little return on your time investment, I suggest doing a little bit of analysis before you mass market. First, I look at an agent's timeline in the business. For example, does it make sense to market to a first-year realtor? Well, probably not. They're not likely going to want to retire that fast, and even if they do, they probably don't have as many clients. That might be why they want to get out of the business so quickly. Compare that to agents who've been in the business for 10, 15, 20 or more years, and you're much more likely to find an agent who might be ready to retire. Another metric to use is drop in production. Just as you notice the successful broker's absence at the most recent broker tour, keep an eye on your colleagues' marketing efforts. This can be as simple as noticing that you're not seeing as many yard signs for a particular agent to actually analyze his year-to-year production, and you notice a slowdown. If an agent's radio ads, bus stop signs, or billboards become less and less predominant, it's a sign he's likely winding down. The first sign of an agent heading to retirement is the winding down of proactive efforts. Once you have your list of potential retiring agents you can partner with, it's time to market to them. In real estate, marketing is typically focused on two clients: right now clients and in the future clients. Retiring agents are no different. Some retiring agents might be excited to have you take over right away. Other retiring agents might still have a few years to go or some milestones that they want to hit before they move on to something new. To help you easily connect with potential retiring agents, I've partnered with the title and escrow companies all over the United States and soon the world to identify potential retiring agents. Through the website goldenhandoff.com, you can have copies of this book sent directly to agents on your behalf. You can also order in bulk at a discount if you want and hand deliver or use it as giveaway in events. Stay in touch with the agents who aren't ready yet, just as you should with sellers who are waiting for that last kid to graduate from high school before they sell the house and move to a condo. You surely already have a marketing plan, so possible retiring agents, put them into your CRM. Email them and send postcards to agents in your local MLS or realtor association to let them know how you can help them retire, and follow up on leads at appropriate intervals. Always deliver value in all your marketing. Your relationship with the agents in the community will grow, and you will be their agent of choice when they look to retire from real estate. Once you successfully adopted the clients of a few retiring agents, collect testimonials from them so you can take some of the mystery out of the process for the other retiring agents. A track record of success and testimonials from retiring agents you've helped are the best tools in winning the trust of new retiring agents. Your connections to the community and other agents and awareness of people winding down will give you many opportunities to connect with retiring agents. If you want to take it to the next level, add in some marketing and production analysis to find agents that you might not know who aren't rockstar agents in your area. Building a pipeline of retiring agents is as simple as marketing to the sellers of homes. Stay in touch, share your successes, testimonials from other retiring agents, and ask for the retiring agent's business. In the following chapter, I share one thing that represents the entire career and all relationship an agent has: the database. Here are some tips and tricks. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Be active in your brokerage and realtor community and let people know you're open to adopting clients when they retire. Create a networking and production analysis plan for retiring agents. Market to potential retiring agents by adding leads to your CRM and communicating consistently. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Take note of agents who are actively marketing their client adoption plan. Let your team leader, HR department, brokerage team know when you are considering retiring and ask for referrals to get agents with a track record of success. Finding retiring agent milestones. The adopting agent is engaged in the agent community and notices opportunities related to other agents pending retirement. The adopting agent has a marketing plan and keeps tracks of possible retiring agents in the database. Chapter 3, the database. At the end of the day, every deal a retiring agent has done, every person she's worked with, and every relationship she had should be in a database. That's in a perfect world. In reality, what I find is that people often have no database, or they have all their contacts, but they're stored in multiple places. So when I say the word database, some people's eyes glaze over. A database is simply a well-organized digital list of clients' names and information. It is the only way for the adopting agent to know who the clients are and how to communicate with them. Imagine sorting through a shoebox of business cards and notes with names and addresses scribbled on them. No thanks. Data equals value. The value of an agent's current business is directly related to the income of her business. The more clients and information is in the database, the more valuable it will be to adopting agents. Be careful though, the database loses value over time without an adopting agent to call and actively market the clients. Aside from the total number of clients, the value is also affected by the number of clients who will remain loyal to the new agent. For this reason, the Golden Handoff is a well-timed process that takes some patience and coordination between the retiring agent and adopting agent, and it all starts with the database. We look at all the details, more in upcoming chapters, but you can already see the retiring agent's real win with this system is that the money comes with little or no work once the complete database is handed off to the adopting agent. To me, one of the most surprising aspects of this system has been how grateful the adopting clients are that their agent thought of them enough to find them someone to take care of their needs. Furthermore, any client who had a good experience and was loyal to the retiring agent will likely be very loyal and grateful to the adopting agent. David's clients are a perfect example of this loyalty. I've worked with many of his clients who didn't even interview other agents because David's recommendation to work with me was so strong. While I do my part to know the market and be professional, the endorsement makes my job much easier. David's clients are so loyal, and many of them are planning to visit his movie studio in Los Angeles. And his clients and I are in Portland, Oregon. I make sure to let David know when I'm meeting up with his clients or when they're requesting information. Because David is still involved at the delegator level, he proactively puts in a good word for me and helps me understand his clients better if in the notes that he passes along to me are not good enough. Importing the database. I've found that a simple database is the best database. The chance that agents will be using the same CRM system is very small. That means that the database will probably export to an Excel file and then you can import it to your CRM, whichever one you're using. If this sounds like tech jargon, there are people who specialize in this kind of work who can help you. A CRM takes all of the info in a database and lets you create plans to communicate with your clients. For example, you can set up different marketing plans inside a CRM or client relationship management system that sends all of your clients your e-newsletter, but remind you to call your clients. A clients 4 times a year, B clients 5 times a year. C time, different systems for different CRMs also allow you to connect with clients on social media, as well as shared contact information and notes with other team members. As the size of the client list grows, so does the complexity of exploring, exporting, and importing that information. If it's feeling overwhelmed just to read about the process, it might be worth money to have an expert with databases and Excel help. Many CRM companies can import your database for you. Help! There's no database. Many retiring agents have to assemble their database for the first time in order to retire. If this describes a retiring agent that you're working with, he's not the first and won't be the last. Don't let this simple fact send you running away while your retirement agent holds up in Florida retirement community without as much as a final email to his clients. At a minimum, all retiring agents have a list of all of the transactions that they've done in their careers. The next place to look are their email history and their cell phone address books. Social media accounts, mailing list, email list might also have their clients' information. Once you've identified the sources of client information, it's time to consolidate them. The process of combining information in various sources to create a solid database can be painfully difficult. But now, with the advent of what I call client aggregators, such as Nimble and Contactually, the process is very quick. Systems like these take information from your email, social media, and spreadsheets and combine it into one database. Chapter 10 covers systems like CRMs in more detail, but for now, the point is to ensure the retiring agent has a database of some sort, or that you can collect and import the data in some way, and the data will be valuable to you as an adopting agent. Bonding over data, it's critical that both agents spend time together going over the database and client notes. I often find that retiring agents will remember clients who need help right away or will think of extra information I should know while you're looking at the database together. This process also ensures that the clients are in correct category and will receive the correct amount of contact. This is also important since the adopting agent will need to label all the adopting clients as coming from each specific retiring agent. Knowing which clients came from which retiring agent is important to ensure the process and also for accounting the money to the retiring agents correctly. My experience has been that this critical step often takes the most time and is one of the most important. I prefer to have a list printed out so I can write as many notes as I want. Because the real estate is based on a community of clients, you'll see the connection between the people in the database. Successful agents often help multiple generations and families, groups of friends, and people who work or socialize together. When you take time to discuss clients as people, you start to paint a clear picture of who the leaders are in each of the groups. People naturally look to the leaders of the groups, whether they're family, church, work group, or just friends, and you want to have a great relationship with the leaders in the database you're adopting. As you go over the client list together, you need to know some critical information about each person, and the bare minimum is name, phone number, address, and email. You also need to be able to categorize the client. Here are the main categories that I use, and be sure to ask follow-up questions too. Past buyer, when might they move again? Past seller, are they waiting to buy? Investor, what do they like to invest in and how often? Vendor, do they refer or just do good work? Big difference. Buyer and seller lead, when are they planning on making a move? It's also extremely helpful to know the source that brought each client to the retiring agent in the first place. Source from a postcard farm, door knocking area, internet lead, subscriber to a blog or newsletter, referral, or sign call. While David's database was categorized very well, I've adopted clients list where 20 to 30% of the people in the database were other agents, lenders, and title who are just in retiring agents' databases for convenience. These don't add value to the adopting agent though. Although it might seem like more people, the better the truth is you only want to spend time on past clients, potential clients, and people who refer clients. Connecting with adopted clients takes time and effort, and you don't want to waste time on the wrong people at the expense of the true clients. Making sure you have a complete database and notes on the adopted clients will make sure you're on your way to a successful handoff. In the following chapter, I will describe in detail the amazing financial power of taking over an entire database of new clients. The value extends beyond the business the adopted clients may bring. Just think about all the indirect and future referrals that have come from having a bigger and more successful business. Tips and tricks. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Make sure to confirm all contact information you contact with these new clients. The level of detail in the retiring agent's database is a good indicator of the strength of her relationships with her clients. Hire a mailing or direct marketing company to send out your announcement letters. It's critical that you spend time with the retiring agents to go over the client's list and connect the dots between the different social spheres that exist. This is also the time to fill in the notes and confirm contact info so you can reach the adopted clients. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Export your phone address book and convert it to an Excel spreadsheet for the adopting agent. Use a database aggregator system to pull information from your email and social media accounts, as well as your imported phone contacts, into the complete database. Mail and or email all of your clients to ask for updated contact information. Make sure the adopted agent permanently labels your clients as yours in his database so he can give you reports on his progress with your clients. Database milestones. The retiring agent's database is sorted into past clients, potential clients, and people who refer clients. Adopting and retiring agents have gone over the client list together and have made notes of what will be adopted to the adopted client's files in the adopting agent's database. Chapter 4. The money. I love what I do. My hope is that everyone can say that about their careers, although I know that might be a bit optimistic. When I say this to people, the usual follow-up question I get is, would you still do it if you didn't get paid? To be honest, closing a deal and getting paid is part of the reward. To me, the money is the natural byproduct of doing good work and helping people. But at the end of the day, how much you get paid is a measure of how important your role is to the success of your client's goals. Helping someone retire and simultaneously benefiting from their relationship and years of work is a huge opportunity for agents wanting to grow their business. For me, this source of business grows each year. It's already grossing my team and me an additional 30%, and for us, that's projected additional $250,000 this year alone. The best part is that these relationships are enduring and potentially compounding source of income. You'll come into contact with many new potential clients as you manage and care for the needs of the adopted clients. This can be powerful and profitable. For the retiring agents, it can be life-changing to have additional income after leaving a career. David mentioned to me after a year of my working with his past clients that it was one of the best decisions he's ever made. Another agent, whom I'll leave anonymous, confided in me that his partner had lost her job, and for a couple of months before she found a new job, the referral income paid their mortgage. Hearing feedback like this is part of why I'm so passionate about the Golden Handoff. There are 4 channels of business that open up whenever you adopt a database: direct income, ongoing referrals, indirect income, and client referrals. Before we launch into those, though, let's cover the money basics of the Golden Handoff. Golden Handoff money basics. In general, the Golden Handoff takes place over 3 years. The first year, the commission split for closing with an adopted client is 70-30, with the adopting agent earning 70% of the commission and the retiring agent netting 30%. The second year is typically 80-20, and the third year 90-10. These closings are called direct income. Retiring agents inevitably meet new potential clients, which they refer to the adopting agent. Because both agents are involved in these transactions, these ongoing referrals stand at an 80-20 split and continue for as long as the retiring agent maintains the minimum license required to receive referral income. This license requires varies state by state, so do some research to find out what you need to do. Plus, there is indirect income. That comes from new leads as a result of the adopting agent's good work on each listing and sale with the adopted clients. Beyond that are client referrals that come simply as a result of the adopting agent's marketing and communication with the adopted clients. The income from these referrals 100% goes to the adopting agent. Of course, you can customize the number of years you take in your Golden Handoff and the percentage splits according to what you decide is fair. We'll go over more arrangement customizations in Chapter 8 where we talk about the contract. These splits give you an idea of how the money might look, but it's all hypothetical until we plug in some numbers, right? So let's look closer at each of these scenarios and what the actual income for each could be. Direct income is the revenue you earn from dealing directly with the adopted clients when you're setting an expectation for closed deals. Look at the percentage of the retiring agent's business that is repeat and referral. Let's say for the sake of this example, it's 75% repeat and referral. Multiply the total client list by 75% and then divide it by 10% based on the median numbers of years between moves. This should give you a reasonable number of deals per year you can expect. So for the database of 200 clients, real estate clients, not including the fuzzy leads that you don't really know the retirement agent are, it looks like this. 200 clients times 75% equals 150 repeat and referral. 150 over 10 years, you can expect 15 deals per year. To make this more real, I'll use my average commission of $9,000. 15 closings at $9,000 is $135,000 per year gross. Because the commission is typically split 70-30 in the first year of the Golden Handoff, this equates to $94,500 to the adopting agent, $40,500 to the retiring agent. Now that's real money for both agents. As an adopting agent, consider the impact of adding 200 clients in one move. How many months or years would it take for you to accumulate an extra 200 clients? Well, the answer is the entire career of the retiring agent. Not only does this grow your income dramatically, but it also grows your client list by huge leaps and bounds every time you adopt a client list. Now, imagine what it would look like if you took on 4 retiring agents a year. That's 800 new clients. Even for a very seasoned adopting agent with a team, that is likely doubling your business, which is 4 agreements. If the conversion rates hold up, in this scenario, that's an additional $540,000 gross in the first year alone. That means that you as the adopting agent and your team would net an additional $378K. You're helping fund the retirement for 4 retiring agents to the tune of $162,000 per year. In years 2 and 3, the adopting agent keeps a larger share of the income from the adopted clients, but the retiring agents continue to benefit with no extra effort. So keep in mind, this is just from repeat clients from the database. You also get referrals from the referring clients, and it all adds up. Ongoing referrals. Meanwhile, the retiring agent will still be social. It's in a realtor's nature after all. And people in her database will still inevitably contact her to refer more clients. Ongoing referrals are part of the direct income you receive in the Golden Handoff. Expect a few extra referrals a year from the retiring agent, especially if she doesn't move out of town. Referrals like this from the agent are split 80% to the adopting and 20% to the retiring agent and continue for as long as the retiring agent maintains the minimum license to receive the referral income. Recently, Renee referred a client whose sales and purchase totaled $1.1 million, and then commission worked out to $17,500 on the listing side and $15,000 on the purchase for the total of $32,500 and here's what our paychecks look like. $26,000 to my team and me, $6,500 to the retiring agent. And all the retiring agent had to do was make one phone call to tell me about the client, do a couple follow-ups with the clients to assure her I was pricing her home well, and it's a pretty good payout for a few minutes worth of work. Indirect income. In the first example, we projected and expected 15 closings from the adopted database. Let's expand on the value of those a bit more. Half of the closed deals are likely to be listings, so we'll call it 7. Look at your track record for the amount of leads you get from each listing through sign calls, open houses, web leads. How many of those do you convert? It would be conservative to say that each listing also creates enough leads to expect an additional closed sale, and these additional sales are all owned completely by the adopting agent. If these additional deals are listings, they continue to generate more leads and more listings, and well, you get the idea. 9,000 times 7 listings is 63,000 additional indirect income to the adopting agent. The other half of those 15 closings are 8 buyers. But if you do a good job and ask for testimonials and referrals, you can expect another 4 closed deals from those referrals. So 9,000 times 4 buyers, 36,000 additional indirect income to the adopting agent. For a real-world example, let's go back to that 1.1 million sale and purchase from the agent referral. My feeling about the open house I held is that we'll get 2 more clients from the 20 people who came, but they'll be buying in at the $500,000 range. My team and I stand to generate another $25,000. And it all goes to the adopting agent because the clients came in through an open house that I held, not as referrals from the retiring agent, but for the adopted database. Pretty cool how one phone call can quickly set in motion over $2 million in business. Each of these indirect closings continues to add to your database and bottom line. If you're doing great work and asking for referrals, each of these new connections continues to compound into more clients and more closings. Adopted client referrals. Adopted client referrals are where the compounding growth of a referral-based business gets really amazing. Although it's difficult to pinpoint hard numbers for this, it's very hard to predict how many referrals you'll get from any particular client list. The number of referrals is affected by the quality and marketing of the person contacts that you make, how connected the clients are, and how long you stay in the business. But that doesn't mean that we can't look forward to extra income that client referrals will bring in. It's like doing fuzzy math. So let's assume that over 10 years, you will get 1 referral each from half of the adopted clients, excluding repeat business. We had 200 clients on the adopted list, so that's another 100 referrals. Even if it's only half of them turning to closing, that's 50 additional sales over 10 years, which average out to 5 per year. So 9,000 times 5 adopted client referrals, 45,000 additional annual income to the adopting agent. The longer you stay in the business and the better you are at getting referrals, the more compounding effect will help you grow. Client ownership. Many people ask me why the retiring agent doesn't get a percentage of the indirect income or adopted client referrals. My answer to that common question is that the database represents the work of the relationships that the retiring agent has done, while the indirect income and adopted client referrals are a result of what the adopting agent is doing. With that in mind, the division of client ownership is fundamental, fair to both agents. Furthermore, it would be very difficult to track and account for every single lead. This is an arrangement that simplifies the paperwork while still compensating each agent appropriately. This sums up the basics that you need to know before towing the starting line for the Golden Handoff. Next, I'll cover the different levels of involvement for retiring agents and what they mean for your adoption strategy. Tips and tricks. Tips and tricks for adopting agents. The better you know your numbers, the better you'll be able to predict not only the direct income, but also the potential for indirect and adopted client referral income from each retiring agent's database you adopt. Make sure to earn referrals by doing great work and asking them in your marketing and personal contacts. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Know your numbers will give you a more accurate rate of how each income you can expect in each year of the Golden Handoff. The more direct referrals you can send the adopting agent, the more you'll benefit as well. Money milestones. Both agents understand the power of direct, indirect, and future referral income and have assessed how it will likely impact each person's business and finances. Part 2. The starting line. You've picked your team and now it's time to plan the race. At the starting line, the retiring agent will choose how involved he is in the handoff and how connected he will stay during and after the race. The starting line is in the chance for both agents, but especially the retiring agent, to be intentional about how they complete their handoff. The retiring agent's level of involvement and connection sets the understanding so that when you make the handoff, both parties knows who's responsible for each detail of the race. For that reason, the first 2 chapters in this part are specifically for the retiring agent, although the adopting agent would do well to read them too. The 3rd chapter is for the adopting agent. When the runners know the plan and are ready for the starting gun, the timing and handoff becomes almost effortless. Chapter 5. Retiring Agents. Choosing a level of involvement. Dear retiring agent, this chapter is for you. Before you run off to the Bahamas, realize that there are a few simple steps you must take to get your Golden Handoff up for a win. And the most important one is choosing the level of involvement. The choice is yours, of course, but many retiring agents are choosing a higher level of involvement. It turns out the more involved you stay, the more money you're likely to make. Adopting agents, be sure you read on to this section so you're aware of all the ins and outs of each level of involvement. Let's take a look at the 3 levels. 3 levels. For retiring agents, there are 3 potential levels of involvement. It's critical that you thoughtfully choose one. Totally done, consultant, delegator. Totally done. Retiring agents who are totally done have it the easiest. Almost all calls, all marketing, and all referrals go directly to the adopting agent. The retiring agent will still get random calls and emails for a while, and may even much later on, but all he needs to do is confirm the client's contact info, have a quick conversation, and then send the info to the adopting agent to follow up on. Remember Martha and her wish for once-a-week email check-in? This is the level of retiring agent who really want to be done. Once the handoff is complete, you can walk away from almost all responsibility. It's pretty simple. Your only responsibilities include the following steps. 1. Deliver a complete database. 2. Call your top clients to let them know the adopting agent has taken over. 3. Sign the announcement letters that the adopting agent will send for you. Consultants. Just like Renee, many retiring agents like the sound of being a consultant for the adopting agent. They only take meetings that they really want to take, if any, and all the grunt work. Marketing efforts and costs are borne by the adopting agent. This is a good fit for retiring agents with strong social ties to their clients. Adopted clients who will still see the first agent might want to check in with the retiring agent to confirm that she agrees with the advice the new agent's giving. The retiring agent will also still get new referrals and be aware of possible new clients. If the retiring agent picked an adopting agent that she believes in, then simply supporting the adopting agent's advice and reminding clients that the adopting agent is actually really good at his job is usually all she needs to do. Renee will look at my pricing opinions from time to time to either give me areas and advice she knows better than I do, or simply give me and her past clients the thumbs up on my work. With this level of involvement, there are a couple of general rules to keep in mind. First, make sure retiring agents are clear on the agency laws in their state so they don't end up doing and saying anything that they shouldn't. Also, retiring agents should be sure their adopting agents are aware of any conversations they've had so they can better help the client. Your responsibilities include the following steps as a consultant. 1. Deliver a complete database. 2. Call your top clients and let them know the adopting agent is taken over. 3. Sign the announcement letters that the adopting agent will send for you. 4. Re-endorse the adopting agent and his work when needed. 5. Keep an ear out for new clients and opportunities. Delegator. As an agent creates and own more and more assets for their business, this level will become much more common. In my world, many agents have lead generation website systems that are largely automated, so a retiring agent at the delegator level many times is the first point of contact for new and past clients. He likely vets new clients and offers advice on the game plan based on the needs of each client. David has a great website and weekly column on a popular website that both generate new clients. He gets to stay involved in real estate, but on a minimal level, while he's in Los Angeles pursuing his dreams in the movies. The catch for the delegating retiring agent is that no high-paying service-related job like real estate can ever be totally automated. But this is precisely why the agents team up with adopting agents. Minimally, retiring agents at this level of involvement maintain their lead generation assets and delegate the leads to the adopting agent. For example, David writes his weekly columns, and then all the calls that come in because of it come to me. From there on out, I handle the client. Additionally, retiring agents at the delegator level contact their clients a few times a year. High-level relationships must be maintained in order for them to be successful. Retiring agents and adopting agents should coordinate the delegator's contact with clients in advance to avoid both agents calling at the same time, which would make both look unorganized and unprofessional. For example, if your adopting agent wants her newly adopted clients to be called 4 times a year, make sure all 4 of those calls are scheduled and both agents agree on who will make those calls. Otherwise, you could both call the exact same client in the same week with the same message. Not exactly impressive. Essentially, in this level, the retiring agent is committing to a certain amount of involvement to continue to generate business and stay in touch with clients. Your responsibilities include the following steps as a delegator. 1. Deliver a complete database. 2. Call your top clients to let them know the adopting agent is taking over. 3. Sign the announcement letters the adopting agent will send for you. 4. Re-endorse the adopting agent and his work when needed. 5. Keep an ear out for new clients and opportunities. 6. Maintain lead generation websites and systems. 7. Qualify new clients and set client expectations. 8. Communicate marketing efforts with the adopting agent. Whatever level you as a retiring agent decide on, make sure you're being honest with how involved you want to be. There's nothing wrong with being totally done as long as both parties are clear on the expectations from the beginning. When the retiring agent and adopting agent know who's responsible for which task, you can make the handoff a success and the transition will be smooth for both agents and the adopted clients. Next up, I'm going to convince retiring agents of all levels why they might want to stay connected. It's not as intense as you think. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Make sure you're both clear on how involved the retiring agent will be. The more the retiring agent is involved, the more you need to coordinate your efforts. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Be honest with yourself about how involved you want to be. Depending on how involved you stay, you might need to keep certain licenses or credentials. Look into your state laws and regulations before you make the handoff. Involvement milestone. The retiring agent has made a decision on how involved he will be, and the adopting agent knows what to expect based on that involvement level. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Make sure both of you are clear on how involved the retiring agent will be. The more the retiring agent is involved, the more you need to coordinate your efforts. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Be honest with yourself about how involved you want to be. Depending on how involved you stay, you might need to keep certain licenses or credentials. Look into your state laws and regulations before you make the handoff. Involvement milestone. The retiring agent has made a decision on how involved he will be, and the adopting agent knows what to expect based on the involvement level. Chapter 6, Retiring Agents. Staying connected. In the modern world, it's easier to stay connected than to disconnect, which is a double-edged sword. We can zip off documents to anywhere in the world for digital signatures and have them zip back to anyone and everyone we want in an instant. On the way to an appointment, we can have our conference call on our cell phone, which also has access to all of our documents. It's a modern Rolodex of contact information and regularly spouts off GPS directions while automatically reminding us of our next appointments and what to pick up at the grocery store on the way home. Staying connected has never been more convenient. But sometimes we just want to turn off the chatter, the constant reminders, the ongoing list of things and people we need from us, that need things from us. As I write this, I'm in a cabin in the middle of an 85-acre ranch in Bend, Oregon. I thought it would be nice to disconnect for a while to work on the book. There's no TV, no Wi-Fi, no neighbors, no street lights, and I have an amazing view of the Cascade Mountain Range across a grassy plain. I also have 4G on my iPhone and 3G on my iPad, and because of that, I know I have 3 deals dangerously close to going sideways tonight, totaling something like 1.7 million. And not that I've done the math, but that's more than 50,000 in commission income. So guess what? I've been on the phone a bit today. So much for a rustic getaway. It's no surprise that people look forward to disconnecting when they retire. Many people look forward to retirement are really anticipating not having the responsibility that caused them all the stress that comes from the working life. If you're a retiring agent, you probably dream about checking email weekly, turning off your phone, and canceling all those $20, $50, $100, $300 monthly expense businesses you're not sure that you really even need. I bet you imagine no more blogging or posting to social media, no more tweeting about anything other than lunch, the beach, and your lowest round on the links. Martha wanted to pull the plug, move out of state, and not worry about email and voicemail. Renee wanted to take some calls and still chat business at parties and barbecues, but not deal with the stress of showing homes or negotiating repairs at 9 on a Friday night. David wanted to follow his dream and still spend a few hours a week in real estate business. Everyone wants freedom and less responsibility when they retire, and yet I'm here to tell you that retiring agents should keep all the lights on. Before you close this book and throw it out the window, let me explain. While my advice is mostly for retiring agents in this chapter, adopting agents will get helpful information too. And we'll cover marketing and communication methods for the adopting agent in more detail in Chapter 9. Don't pull the plug. By this point in the Golden Handoff, you've done a great joy in finding your adopting agent and choosing your level of involvement. So you can just check out right now, right? Well, in a word, no, not really. Anyway, if your clients really love you, they're counting on you to take care of them. The ones who've worked with you recently might already be privy to your retirement and automatically contact the adopting agent. Don't count on it though. The part I lose sleep over is the clients who are going to want to hire you 2 years from now. Your card is on their fridge and they really like you. And they're not really sure why a new agent has been calling with market updates, and they don't really read the mailed newsletters, they don't open the e-letters, but they will hire you or someone you refer. For clients like these, you're likely going to need to keep a few things up and running: your email, your phone, and your website. Email. Even in the age of text messages and social media, you need to maintain your email. Clients rarely update their records for contact info, and even when you ask them multiple times nicely, they don't. Don't expect everyone to update their records with your adopting agent's address because they just aren't going to do it. You've got to keep your inbox open. If you've been using a personal email address for work communications too, then monitor it weekly at a minimum. If you're going to Antarctica for a few months, make sure you forward your email to the adopting agent so no one falls through the cracks. Whenever you receive emails from clients or potential clients, reply to them and let them know you've retired. The adopting agent will be in touch. In most email systems, you can set up a canned response so you don't have to type it out every time. Make sure to forward relevant emails to your adopting agent. If you have a business specific email address, assign it to the opting agent and just let her deal with it. In either case, if you receive business email in your personal account, pass it to your adopting agent, and of course, the adopting agent should forward personal email you might get in your business account back to you. If your phone number, your phone, is pasted all over advertising and other marketing you used for years, especially if people are calling it constantly, be sure to forward it to the adopting agent, even if it's not posted all over town. And no matter how tempting it might be, please just don't turn your phone number off. If you do, some high school kid will be getting a lot of calls he doesn't want on his new cell phone, and he will not be telling the clients or the adopting agent about the missed business connections at all. Website. Your website is a bit more of a gray area than your email address or phone number. While both of these need some level of involvement from you, regardless of whether you're totally done, a consultant, or a delegator, your website could remain fully active or could be shut down altogether. Websites carry the cost of hosting and domain name renewal. If you're totally done or a consultant, if the adopting agent's systems are clearly better than what you have, you might want to have the adopting agent point the domain to our website. If you're a delegator, though, and you'll be keeping your content fresh to maintain relationships with clients while the adopting agent does the back end work to close the deals, it makes most sense to keep your websites active. Even one referral or inquiry that comes to your phone, email, or website can be worth a lot of money. In our $9,000 commission example, if you're in the first year with an adopting agent and you have a 70-30 split, that's worth $2,700. Now, let's be real. How much does it cost you to keep your email, phone, and website? Not more than $2,700. These examples are all passive ways to stay in touch and available. Taking an active approach allows you to generate even more business, whether it's by reaching out to clients about their real estate needs or just letting them know that you're enjoying retirement and trust the adopting agent is taking good care of them. Let's look now at some easy and proactive ways that you can stay in touch. Old school ways to stay actively in touch. We already know there's about a million ways to stay in touch, so let's narrow those down to take a look at the tried and true methods for the retiring agent to keep in contact with clients and help everyone make more money. The phone. The retiring agent can call his clients once a year and check in, coordinate your efforts with the adopting agent if you're sharing a specific message about the market or other opportunities. Newsletters. Regular newsletters with valuable content and snippets of personal information about the agents will keep clients thinking about you and your services. For both mailed and emailed newsletters, it's critical that the retiring agent make sure the adopting agent has good systems in place for managing newsletters to clients. If adopted clients are properly categorized into the CRM, it makes it easier for your adopting agent to include info about your adventures in retirement or your new career in the newsletter. The adopted clients will be the only ones in the adopted agent's database who will get this personalized message from retiring agents. How's that for easy and relevant? I found that in the day in the life section of my newsletter about my personal life, and that my team, including retiring agents for appropriate clients, is the most read section. Supply your adopting agent with a photo and of a vacation or your new garden or a little blurb about what you're up to lately to include in her newsletter. Meetings. The retiring agent will see some clients in his day-to-day life even after he's retired, and it's great for him to keep this up. He should always have a good plan on going to his adopting agent's clients' parties. Depending on his level of involvement, he can call his clients and invite them to the party or rely on the adopting agent to do it for him. So he just needs to show up and have a great time. Advertising. If the retiring agent has long run advertisements and a track record of success, it makes sense to continue the ad but modify it to include the adopting agent so people can make the connection. All marketing costs should be covered by the adopting agent, so make sure it's part of the contract, especially if the retiring agent has been allotting a large marketing budget. New school ways to actively stay in touch. Technology introduces new ways to stay in touch seemingly every day. Watch for the new methods that will work for you both as you make your golden handoff. Here are a few that work well for my retiring agents and me. Social media. If the retiring agent already has client connections on social media, she'll continue to reach them organically. Even Martha, who's totally done, is sharing pics from her dream life on a beach in Mexico. This helps clients continue to think of her, and when they have real estate needs, they'll be in touch. The retiring agent can also help drive more business by making sure she personally reaches out to clients if she sees them post something related to real estate. For example, when someone tweets about planning a move or running out of the space he's currently in, that information is helpful. The adopting agent needs to know. I also suggest the retiring agent post info from the adopting agent from time to time. As with all forms of marketing, make sure it's valuable and relevant. No one cares what they had for lunch, and it shouldn't be an ad. But let's say the adopting agent wrote a great new marketing report article, white paper, or a quote that the retiring agent's past clients would appreciate. It's very easy to share or retweet that. Video. I love video. You can love video too. So often with email and social media, a written message, especially if it's long, gets lost in the noise of all the info coming from all directions. The more noise, the easier it is for clients to feel like there's no personal connection. A video is a magical way to look your clients in the eye and make that personal connection. The cool part is that you have to make one video for all of your clients who watch to feel personally touched. My video setup is so simple, it's crazy. Smartphone, I use an iPhone. Microphone adapter, approximately 25 bucks. Lapel mic, $15 to $200 depending on if you want wired or wireless. I use a wired mic and that was $20. Tripod, $25 to $250 depending on how fancy you want to get. Cell phone holder for a tripod is 5 bucks. Here's why I like using my phone to do video. It's easy. I can shoot a quick message or interview and upload it to YouTube within a few minutes. The retiring agent can then share it on its website and social media. Even if you, the retiring agent, don't have experience with making video, your adopting agent might. Consider him record your message and embed the video in the e-newsletters he's sending to the adopted clients. You could even pre-record a few of these for the adopting agents to send out over the course of the first year or more. That way the work is done up front, but clients receive value months and months and years later. When you're considering content for your videos, I suggest keeping it to a couple of minutes and covering the message you feel is most important to your clients. This could be as simple as your opinion on the state of the market, information about new opportunities, or an update on events in your community. Try to keep everything focused on real estate since that's the common bond among all of your clients. While your retirement is a big life event for you, it really isn't for your clients. Your contact channels need to stay alive even if you're not the one taking care of them. This way, your clients won't fall through the cracks when they finally reach out for real estate support, and both agents will bring in more business and make more money. Work with the adopting agent to make a plan for how to hand off contact systems, as well as how often you'll be in touch with clients and by what method. I'm such a believer in staying connected that in the next chapter, I'll delve even deeper into the mutual beneficial concept of ongoing referrals. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. The retiring agent's phone number, email address, and websites are assets that need to be discussed. They should either be assigned to you or maintained and monitored by the retiring agent. If the retiring agent's websites are passively running, then take them over. Suggest different ways the retiring agent can continue to support and endorse you. Make it easy by facilitating all the technical or tedious parts. Don't expect her to learn how to make a video. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Based on how involved you want to be, decide up front which contact systems will be assigned to the adopting agent and which you'll continue to monitor. Be sure to forward any contacts you received in your personal accounts to the adopting agent, and then she follows up with them. An annual call, note included in a newsletter, or a quick video posted on social media can have a huge impact for generating business, which leads to income for both of you and the adopting agent. The adopting agent should facilitate this so it's super easy for you to do your part. Staying connected milestones. As a team, you'll have a list of all your email addresses, websites, and phone numbers, and have decided which agent will be responsible for maintenance and responding to inquiries. You've decided together which websites, email address, and phone numbers you'll shut down, if any. Chapter 7. Ongoing referrals. Anyone in real estate will admit that they are tuned into a special radio station I like to call anything you overhear that is about real estate. I can be in a crowded restaurant, and if someone 5 tables over mentions buying or selling or says anything that sounds like the word house, I immediately hear it. It's hilarious having lunch with my team because we all do it. In the middle of a conversation over lunch, we'll turn our heads if someone at the neighboring table starts talking real estate. It's a natural human phenomenon to become hyper aware when what you're focusing on shows up in your environment. This is the same reason why, when you buy a new car, all of a sudden it seems like everyone has the same car. Retiring agents are the same way. Even if they're planning on getting out of the industry, over years or even decades, their senses have been tuned to hear and see opportunity for their business. Convincing the retiring agent to keep her senses sharp and refer people to you can lead to substantially more business and income for the both of you. Top of mind. Ongoing referrals are all the clients that a retiring agent refers you to who are not necessarily in her database. These extra opportunities are great perks of having an engaged retiring agent, no matter what level of involvement she's chosen. You get help growing your business, and she gets to take part in the fun and social aspect of being in real estate without all the hard work of actually helping clients buy or sell property. Plus, you get to make more sales and more money, and these ongoing referrals also add to the value the retiring agent gets from this partnership. While the potential of an adopted database may be limited, the opportunity for ongoing referrals creates a virtually unlimited source of income for both the retiring agent and the adopting agent. The best part is, it's not hard to build ongoing referrals into your Golden Handoff relationship. When you have a service business like real estate, some, if not most, of your business comes from referrals. Most of the marketing you do is to stay top of mind with clients, so when they or anyone they know needs your services you offer, they contact you first. My business is over 70% repeat and referral clients. When my business was smaller, it was closer to 85%. If you're familiar with Pareto principle, it's also known as the 80-20 rule, then you know that 80% of your referrals come from the top 20% of your clients. This principle comes from Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist who noticed that 80% of the land was owned by 20% of the people. The 80-20 rule was found to occur in business over and over. The most notable use of the 80-20 rule is the 80% of your results, or profit, come from 20% of your actions, or clients. I call them advocate clients, the people who will always work with you, but who also happen to be very socially connected and actively try to help you find new clients. When you adopt a database, the retiring agent becomes one of your top advocate clients. Not only has he just endorsed you and handed you all of his clients, but he also incentivized you to help you find new clients. It's critical that adopting agents treat retiring agents as advocate clients because they will very likely contribute more than the adopting agent's database. This means you, as the adopting agent, should include him on your mailing list for all marketing materials and check in with him via phone and emails as frequently as you would or other top advocate clients, and add him to the appropriate category in your CRM to help manage this. Malcolm Gladwell describes these type of people in his book The Tipping Point, calling them connectors. Connectors are people with a special gift for bringing the world together. Connectors know lots of people. They are kinds of people who know everyone. They are people whom all of us can reach in only a few steps because for one reason or another, they manage to occupy many different worlds and subcultures and niches. The ability to span many different worlds is a function of something intrinsic to their personality, some combination of curiosity, self-confidence, sociability, and energy. In an ideal Golden Handoff relationship, the retiring agent is not just attending barbecues, but also meeting new people there and introducing them to the idea of working with you. That's top of mind and business advocacy at its best. Retiring agent's duties. The retiring agent's role in generating ongoing referrals is simple. Just advocate for the business and refer leads to the adopting agent. It can be as small as a neighbor who's thinking of selling and knows that the retiring agent used to be in the business, or as big as an introduction to a builder who the retiring agent knew from when they were both getting started, who just bought a large tract of land. Renee has been great about alerting me to opportunities and sending ongoing referrals. Twice she's called me when she had neighbors she only had a hunch might move, and both times were right. Those little hunches can turn into big opportunities for both agents. One of our neighbors' homes sold for $600,000, and the other is definitely over $1 million, even if it's just a fixer. Just like with any referral, it's not a guarantee that you'll get business, but it gives you the opportunity to try and win the deal. When the retiring agent keeps her antenna up, it helps you connect with more potential clients. Based on retiring agents' involvement, here are some ideas for how to help them stay engaged. Totally done. Reminding agents to make you aware of requests or questions they receive. All you're asking for them to keep their antenna tuned into real estate channel and email, or call you with basic information whenever they see an opportunity. Martha doesn't have to be proactive about seeking potential clients. She still gets the occasional call or email, and all she needs to do is make sure I got the info so I can follow up. Consultant. These retiring agents will still be socially engaged with their clients, follow up on possible opportunities, and have the retiring agent do some of the qualifying of past and potential client needs and coordinate. Renee does a great job of staying in touch with her clients and keeping her ear to the ground for opportunities. Delegator. These agents are still proactively leading generations supporting systems, maybe in writing a column in the newspaper or blog, and definitely by touching base with past clients. Make sure to coordinate marketing efforts with the delegator so potential clients aren't bombarded with contact from you both or slipping through the cracks. David has a website that still generates new clients. Sometimes he'll reach out first to a new contact, and sometimes he'll just forward the inquiries to my team. The small extra weekly effort he puts in takes maybe an hour or two each week, but generates more than $10,000 in referral income for him each year. Whatever the involvement level of your retiring agents, coach them on ways for them to stay in touch with the clients. See Chapter 6, especially on how these ongoing referrals benefit you both. Now that you've established your relay team and planned the race, it's almost time for starting gun to sound and the golden handoff to officially begin. In the next section, I'll get into the nitty-gritty of the contract between the retiring and adopting agents and all the implications of that agreement. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Remind the retiring agent to stay tuned into anything you overhear that is about real estate, radio station, and pass referrals on to you so you both can make more money. Based on the retiring agent's level of involvement, coach her on what she can do to help feed the partnership with more referrals. Treat the retiring agent as your top advocate client, so you stay on top of her mind and she places you at the top of the minds of people she comes in contact with. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Keep your antenna up for opportunities and let the adopting agent follow up on them. Keep your adopting agent top of mind so you can advocate for her business and help her keep as many of the adopted clients as possible. Ongoing referral milestones. The retiring agent understands the value and ease of ongoing referrals, and the adopting agent treats the retiring agent as an advocate client, encouraging him to stay engaged and on the lookout for new opportunities. Part 3. The Starting Gun. The race is never more real than at the moment when the starting gun goes off. This is the moment where the preparation and planning take a back seat to the act of doing. Just like in many events in real estate, the starting gun is the golden handoff, is the contract. The contract must be mutually sustainable. This is the guiding principle of the contract I'm going to share with you in this section. Once the contract is signed, the race begins and all of your efforts move you towards a successful handoff. The contract sets the expectations and the promises that the adopting agent and retiring agents make to each other. When the gun goes off, the only thing on your mind is running your leg of the race and making it a golden handoff. So Chapter 8, the contract. The best part of real estate is that there are a million ways to succeed, build teams, build brokerages, reach clients, and grow. The worst part of real estate is that there are no models set in stone. Even in just my office, brokerages splits are different based on different roles, teams have different operating agreements, and how people run their business varies wildly. In this chapter, I will share what I do when adopting the business of another broker, the actual contract I use, and my rationale behind the structure of the deal. This model has been working great, so feel free to use it exactly as is written. Disclaimer, you should make sure you run this by a contract attorney to make sure it works for your specific situation. If you feel you want to modify it, that's okay too. Just try to cover all the variables and what ifs you can before the what ifs show up and there's a check to divvy up. Contract basics. A contract is basically a legal document detailing an exchange of value that also lays out the expectations and obligations of both parties. Broadly speaking, the asset a contract covers can come in different forms, from a client list to services rendered to actual merchandise. The golden handoff, however, assesses value based on the actual results in lieu of speculation by sharing commissions over a set amount of time. Assets. In real estate, as in any service-based business, the primary asset is the database, but the relationship and connections that the retiring agent has with clients in our database are even more important. That's why I'm writing a whole book on how to best transfer not just the data, but the relationships as well. Some people might call this goodwill, but it's much more personal than that. Unless your business is completely driven by advertising and brand, the personal relationships are the key element to success. Imagine you're the client and an adopting agent just got your name and number from a client list and called you, but there was no context as to why he was contacting you. You'd probably say, "Not interested," and hang up promptly. But if your trusted real estate agent let you know she was retiring and transferring her business to her trusted adopting agent, then when that adopting agent called you, especially if you chatted about the retiring agent together and what he learned about you from her, you'd probably be more likely to talk for a bit and eventually work with them for your real estate needs. The adopting agent needs to take the time to learn the relationships and build upon them. But before he can do that, the retiring agents must be committed to participating in the process, communicating with clients, and endorsing the adopting agent wholeheartedly. This is critical to the success of the agreement and will need to be detailed in the contract. The retiring agent likely has secondary assets as well. Usually these include things she pays for and manages that bring in the business. The most obvious one is her website that markets her properties and attracts new clients. Based on the retiring agent's level of involvement, these are either transferred to the adopting agent or maintained by the retiring agent. In David's case, he maintained his website as was the first point of contact with incoming emails. For Martha, we simply took over her website's URL and pointed it at my existing website. The tertiary assets are much easier to sort out as they usually include small tangibles like company materials and office supplies. They're either just given or sold for market value to the adopting agent. Wild cards. There are sometimes a few other assets to be considered while developing the contract, but these are not in every transaction, so I call them wild cards. Be sure to check for these and consider them for the contract if they apply to a particular golden handoff situation. If the retiring agent has a great office location and you want to move in, it might need to be part of the deal. You would end up taking over the lease and any other expenses associated with the space. You might even buy the building if the retiring agent owns the property. The other wildcard asset is people. Maybe the retiring agent has some amazing assistant or great salesperson who you'll want to bring onto your team. To be honest, I haven't dealt with a scenario like this personally, but if I do, my plan is to have the retiring agent's team go through the same process as a new hire. That might sound unnecessary. I mean, they've been on this other team, so they must be good at it, right? That being said, they need to be a good fit for your team, and you also need to know what their strengths, goals, and weaknesses are so you can be a great coach to them. This would also be the time to explain how your team works and what the expectations will be if they decide to work with you. Agents and managers have very different styles, and you want to make sure these new people are a good match for yours. This can be a touchy process, so navigate with caution, open communication, and professionalism while always keeping the business best interests in mind. On the plus side, if the retiring agent has staff, it means he likely has a pretty big business, or maybe he's very good at golf. Either way, those are good signs. Sample contract. Up next is a copy of the contract template I use. After you read through it, I'll break it down and explain the logic of it while also addressing expectations and wildcards where they might fit into the paperwork. But keep in mind that many of the details are based on my state, which has specific licensing rules where the majority of clients only move every 7 to 15 years. Be sure to do your research on the state's licensing requirements and real estate trends and adjust the details to work for you. Golden Handoff Sample Contract. Date blank. Retiring agent blank transfers their client database to Nick Crowder PC under the following terms. For any purchases or sales by clients in the retiring agent's database, Nick Crowder PC agrees to pay a referral fee as follows. Year 1, 30% of the commissions for properties closed between April 2nd, 2013 and April 1st, 2014. Year 2, 20% of the commissions for properties closed between April 2nd, 2014 and April 1st, 2015. Year 3, 10% of commissions for properties closed between April 2nd, 2015 and April 1st, 2016, after which time no referral fees will be due. For new referrals from the retiring agent that are not part of the retiring agent's database, Nick Crowder PC agrees to pay 20% referral fee for the first transaction by each client for perpetuity as long as the retiring agent is legally licensed to receive referral fees. Exceptions. Details on exceptions follow in the contract breakdown. Assets. All soft assets, examples, website, work email, phone numbers, marketing templates, to be transferred to Nick Crowder PC. Hard assets, examples, lockboxes and equipment to be negotiated for sale at fair market value. Retiring agent agrees to the following duties. 1. Maintain a real estate license with the appropriate status to continue to receive referral income. 2. Communicate any inquiries by database clients and new leads to Nick Crowder PC to endorse Nick Crowder PC to database clients and new leads. Nick Crowder PC agrees to the following duties. 1. Maintain a high level of marketing and follow-up procedures with database clients. 2. Communicate new business as well as pending and closed sales with a retiring agent. 3. Pay for all marketing and maintain a business that can support the real estate needs of the database. On the blank line, retiring agent signature and date. On the blank line, Nick Crowder PC by Nick Crowder PC President and date. The breakdown. Now let's look at the individual elements of the contract and what they mean. For any purchases or sales by clients in the retiring agent's database. This specifies that the agreement is for clients in the database, not just anyone the retiring agent might know or meet now or in the future. It also means that the retiring agent gets referral income from clients who buy or sell during the contract term, no matter how many times. Year 1, 30% of commission for properties closed between April 2nd, 2013 and April 1st, 2014. This clause expresses two important things. Only closed deals are included, and only those falling within the listed exact dates, not just a vague time frame like first year. The contract is a 3-year deal in which the referral fees are a specific percentage in each one of the 3 years, and after that, I don't owe referral fees from clients in the retiring agent's database. The logic behind this 3-year window is that in my state, the retiring agent has to maintain a license in order to receive a referral fee. Keeping that license has cost and education requirements, and most retiring agents aren't likely to want to keep their licenses long after they're out of the business. Other states and industries are different. You might want to work with a retiring agent who does not want to maintain his license. You can certainly extend the terms of the agreement or look into structuring something like this as a paid consulting agreement. Or if you're really fancy, you can have it be done a profit share or a dividend if you're actually transferring a business entity. My experience is the simpler the better, and that's the logic behind my deal structure. I want to emphasize again that this deal needs to be a fair exchange of value and be sustainable for both the retiring agent and the adopting agent. The more involved the retiring agent is, the longer this agreement may reasonably run. For new referrals from the retiring agent that are not part of the retiring agent's database, Nick Crowder PC agrees to pay 20% referral fee for the first transaction by each client. This clause covers any clients the retiring agent refers to in the adopting agent who are not in the retiring agent's database. While the commission on closed deals are limited to the first 3 years of the arrangement, the part of the deal goes forever as long as the retiring agent keeps the license needing to receive referral income. Again, this is industry and state specific, so confirm your requirements based on your industry, location, and deal structure. This is also specifies that the referral fee applies only to the first transaction. The adopting agent keeps 100% of the commissions on subsequent sales. Exceptions. Because every scenario is unique, there will surely be exceptions or customized arrangements to accommodate the retiring agent, the clients, and any other variables that may be in the mix. Here are the exceptions I've run into and the text I've put into the contract to accommodate to them. Retiring agent who might return to the business in the future. Some people want to make sure that if they don't like retirement or the new place they're moving to, they can come back into the industry in the city and not have to start from scratch. It makes sense. And in this particular case, I would love to have this person join my team if they came back to town. And here's the text I use. If retiring agent returns to Portland as an active licensed real estate broker in the state of Oregon, The database will revert to the retiring agent with any current active listings or pending buyers or sellers closing per the terms of this transferred agreement and referral fees going to the retiring agent. The retiring agent will submit to Nick Crowder PC a 30-day notice in written or electronic form to cease marketing to the database and for database reversion back to the retiring agent. Retiring agent who is maintaining some of his marketing efforts. These marketing efforts might include a website, published column, or something else the retiring agent has found to be effective at bringing in business. Typically, these clients are at the delegation level of involvement, like David, who has a very productive website and relationship with another wildly visited site where he posts weekly real estate column. This exception gives the retiring agent the incentive to continue to maintain and promote these marketing efforts and drive even more business to the adopting agent. Because there is an additional cost, we agree to split it based on closed deals from the website. This makes sure it's actually worth for both of us to keep the column and website. Here's the text I used in the contract. For new referrals and web leads that are not part of retiring agent's database, Nick Crowder PC agrees to pay 20% referral fee for the first transaction by each client. Nick Crowder PC agrees to pay an additional $500 per transaction for web leads, up to $200,000 total per transfer year as outlined above. This will continue beyond 2015 if the retiring agent is bearing the cost of their website and maintaining the weekly reports. Retiring agents whose involvement will be critical in certain scenarios. The scenarios where these exceptions apply are usually when the agent has a very close personal relationship with a particular client, often with family properties or when the retiring agent is selling his own properties. In the case of the former, make sure you understand the scope of what the family properties might entail. If there are 100 properties to sell, then this might not be a good deal. Then again, maybe that makes it better. Here's the text that I use. The following referral will be in perpetuity with no expiration date. 30% of the commissions for closed properties from John Doe Family Residence and Commercial Property 555 Any Street, Anytown, Oregon, and all subsequent Doe family properties to be bought or sold. A retiring agent who still has an active business upon retirement. There are different milestones in the sales process, so transferring active business should have an adjusted commission percentage based on those milestones. When you set this percentage, be sure not to undersell yourself. No matter what milestone you're at, it's almost a sure thing that the deal will have major surprises and delays that eat up your team's time and energy more than you planned. That's been my experience anyway. Make sure you're both clear on what stage of the sales process you're at and agree to who's responsible for what. For retiring agents with successful businesses, there's likely almost no time where there's nothing in escrow, so this is an important part of the contract. Here is my contract text for situations like this. For current listings and possible upcoming signed listings or buyers in the contract prior to September 6, 2011, referral fee shall be 50%. Assets. All soft assets, example website, work email, phone numbers, marketing templates to be transferred to Nick Crowder PC. Hard assets, examples lock boxes and equipment to be negotiated for sale at fair market value. It's important to cover the assets in the contract so there's a written agreement on what will be transferred, bought, or discontinued. For example, while a website can be an asset, if it isn't generating business and it isn't critical to your marketing, then it might not be worth the cost of maintaining the site. You likely choose to discontinue and point the URL to your site, rather than to transfer or buy it. Phone and email are usually transferred. Discussing assets enough to clearly agree on them in the contract will also make sure that the retiring agent's level of involvement matches up with the assets he'll be continuing to use and maintain versus what you're responsible for as the adopting agent. Hard assets are easier to detail since you either need the equipment or you don't. There's a fair market price for each item. Most commonly, I buy the used lock boxes from the retiring agent since I know I'm going to have more business and will likely need them. Retiring agent agrees to the following duties: maintain a real estate license with the appropriate status to continue receiving referral income, communicate any inquiries by new leads and database clients to Nick Crowder PC, and to endorse Nick Crowder PC to database clients and new leads. Here is where the retiring agent makes her promise. The licensing requirements agreed on in the first point are state specific. In the second point, it's really important that the retiring agent redirect past clients who get in touch with them to you and tell you about it as well. Their endorsement is very important for your ability to retain as many of the adopted clients as possible, and that's good for both of you. Nick Crowder PC agrees to the following duties. 1. Maintain a high level of marketing and follow-up procedures with database clients. 2. Communicate new businesses as well as pending and closed sales to the retiring agent. 3. Pay for all marketing and maintain a business that can support the real estate needs of the database. Here is where you, as the adopting agent, make your promises. The first point covers marketing procedures. The wording here is vague and could be more specific. I like the idea of attaching a marketing plan so it's crystal clear what type of contact you'll be doing and when. The second point is about trust. The retiring agent is putting a huge amount of trust in you and reinforces her good choice in you when you let her know about new business and feedback from your marketing efforts. I update all my retiring agents monthly, even if no deals are in the works at the time. The third point holds the adopting agent accountable and ensures you don't get too busy and start dropping the ball with the adopted clients. Specifically, it means you will market to the clients for the term of the agreement and that you are committed to adding staff and possible other expenses to serve the adopted clients. All of them. Lump sum? No. For anyone wondering why you don't just figure out what the database is worth and sell it for a lump sum, consider if a lump sum sale is really fair for either party. There are so many variables that are difficult to predict, and they all affect the value to both parties. What if the retiring agent sells the business in a down market and it turns around? The database would not appear to be worth very much because recent sales have been low and the sales shoot up. The retiring agent who sold for a lump sum could have made subsequently more money on a percentage of the commission over 3 years. What if the adopting agent buys the database and then finds out that many of the clients don't have strong relationships with the retiring agent? The adopting agent won't make much money. A deal that splits the profits on closed sales means no matter how big or how small the results are, they're fairly shared. In my interview with Mike Green, Managing Director of Harcourts International Ltd., he hit the nail on the head regarding the importance of the relationship transfer. Maybe half a dozen times in the last few years, someone has sold their business for a flat fee, and none of the deals have been successful. Clients do not want to be treated like commodities. Many agents are focused on the short term, and this type of relationship between an agent and a client can take 10 to 15 years between transactions. Top producers are similar in that they take a long-term view on how to run their businesses and they deliver great service. Mike brings up an especially important point that clients want to be well taken care of when the retiring agent and the adopting agent are working together. This happens. When clients are sold like a pallet of t-shirts, this hasn't happened. The contract is meant to transfer value and be fair and sustainable to both parties. The true value of a good contract is clarity, the promise and the benefits to both the retiring agent and the adopting agent. The bottom line is really the transfer of the relationship and the trust between the retiring agent, his clients, and the adopting agent. The foundation of that transfer of trust is the contract. So far, you've learned the value of adopting clients. You and the retiring agent have agreed on his level of involvement, and you've signed the contract. Now we launch into the most critical and rewarding stage of this process, the Golden Handoff. The Golden Handoff is the stage where all of the planning pays off and you meet all of your new clients. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Make sure to look at all the assets of the retiring agent. there might be underutilized assets that you can make more use of. Don't make assumptions and what ifs. If you can think it needs to be in the contract, do it. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Be aware of any license or credential requirements. The duration of the agreement needs to be sustainable for both parties and based on the investment and risk level of each party. Don't make assumptions. Any what ifs you can think of need to be in the contract. Contract milestones. Both the retiring agent and the adopting agent have covered all the what ifs and have agreed to the terms of the contract, and both agents have signed the contract. Part 4. The Golden Handoff. The Golden Handoff is the moment we've all been waiting for. This isn't practice, this isn't planning, this is the point where you win the race. Everything leading up to this point was designed to give you the highest chances of success. The first 3 parts of this book have helped you find your team, have guided you through the pre-race planning, and have ensured a strong start with a solid contract. This section is all about action. But of course, before you can make the big announcement, you've got to set up your systems to be able to contact the adopted clients. Chapters 9 and 10 will help you do that, and then Chapter 11 will walk you through the big announcement. The Golden Handoff is about winning, running the race, and making the handoff and winning. Chapter 9. Marketing. There are a million books on marketing, and if you ask 10 people how much contact is too little, too much, and just right, you're likely to get 10 different answers. You're going to have to do some experimenting to see what works for you. I highly encourage you to talk with other successful people in your industry to see what they're doing and what's working for them. In my world, marketing is about 3 factors: channel, how you contact; message, what you say; frequency, how many times a year you contact. This chapter will look at all these in detail, but first we've got to figure out why we even need to market. Start with the why. It's very important to know why you're in business in the first place and why you're contacting people to market to them. One of the better books I've read lately is Start with Why by Simon Sinek. It's also a fantastic TED Talk and one of the most watched. Sinek's, I hope I'm saying that right, Sinek's main point is that most people and companies know that their strategies are and how they carry them out, but very few can communicate why the company exists. Sinek proposes that the most successful companies and people are able to clearly communicate why they are in the business and how the details of what they do and how they operate support their underlying belief systems or their why. When you can clearly say why you do something, your fundamental belief for your existence, you are likely to attract people who agree with that belief system, and they'll be incredibly loyal and supportive. These people include just customers and clients, but also advocates for who you are and what you do. I highly encourage you to look into your big why, but know that it can be very personal and difficult to express. Once you do, though, your business will flow much more naturally in the context of the Golden Handoff. The retiring and adopting agents should discuss their whys together to see how they line up. For some of the agents I've worked with, whys look something like this. Martha's why: to work in a job that gave her control over her schedule and helped her family financially. Renee's why: to be a successful businesswoman and the breadwinner for her family. David's why: to have a job that allowed him to be his own boss and still pursue other passions in the movies. The big why for my business is I believe that buying and selling real estate is one of the most important events in someone's life. We make sure our clients have the best information, representation, and education before they make a decision, and we work hard on their behalf. We do this by helping people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. Anyone who thinks buying or selling a property is a big deal and should be taken seriously will immediately agree with why I'm in the business. If your big why is to get rich, don't expect to have a big following. If your big why is to help other people get rich and live a financially independent life, get two receptionists because your phone will be ringing. You see the difference? Okay, enough with the philosophy and on to reality. Use the next few pages to start a conversation with a retiring agent about your marketing philosophy and see your hows, whats, and whys match up and how they're different. Channel. How you contact. Back in the good old days, there was basically four ways of contacting someone. You called them, met in person, sent a letter, or advertised to the masses. And there are still very good ways to contact people, but in the modern world, there are many more ways to contact people, and the people you're contacting are more distracted than ever. People are texting while driving, Facebooking on lunch breaks, tweeting when they think of everything, including where they ate lunch, posting reviews online, blogging, emailing, video posting, e-newsletter reading and writing, and the list keeps getting longer. The most important thing to know when it comes to the channel for marketing is that people like to communicate in different ways. The second most important thing to know that's really hard to know which they prefer. The quickest way to find out what someone prefers is to ask them and listen. Many of life's problems can be solved by asking and then listening. Of course, this is easier said than done, and there's no way all of your clients will prefer the same method, so it makes sense to communicate in different channels because each way will reach a certain audience and will also have a different cost and impact. Let's start with old school methods and finish up with new technology. Mailing. I do quarterly mailings with information on four things: the marketing I'm an expert in, what the team and I are up to personally so our clients can connect with us on a personal level, notable events going on in town, who we worked with that quarter, which shows that people are buying and selling regardless of the market conditions. Almost all of the agents whose clients I've adopted still use mailing as part of their marketing. It's worth looking at the retiring agents' newsletters or postcards to see how your mailings match up and if there's something you want to add to the marketing plan. Calling. Remember when I told you one of the three things you need for a database is a client category or type? I do three types of phone calls to clients, and their context varies based on if they are past clients or people who actively refer new clients, potential clients, and leads we don't yet know much about. The higher a client's important to the business, the more you should call. I like 4 times a year for the top people, but I know agents who call this type of client monthly. That's your decision. I think about it in the context of what I would want, though. I love my insurance guy, but I don't need to talk with him monthly. I strongly believe that calling is the most critical part of any plan. If an agent does a crummy job with every other form of marketing but consistently calls his clients, he'll do better than an agent who does everything else but doesn't call to stay in touch. In person. Meeting in person is by far the best way to have the most impact with the client, and it also takes the most time. I happen to love that I get to know so many people in my community through my work, so the in-person stuff is fun for me. For other people, it takes a lot of energy to go to a party or host an event. Determine the types of in-person events and frequencies that'll work for you, even if these events are hard for you, whether you're stopping by to say hi, have lunch, or hosting a party. This is the highest impact activity on the list. The catch is you can only have real conversation with one person at a time. Half of Martha's database was from door knocking clients, and that means she literally used to walk neighborhoods, hand out her newsletters to see if people wanted to know what their homes were worth. When a retiring agent has such a large concentration of clients from one marketing method, be prepared for the other methods to be less effective. When someone's used to an agent stopping by, they are less prepared to get a phone call. Make sure you discuss up front if you'll continue a marketing program that might not fit your business. Advertising. Advertising is the exact opposite of one person at a time approach of meeting in person. Basically, you get to say something to everyone in a specific audience. For example, readers of a certain newspaper, but unless the audience acts, it's like the marketing effort never happened. You have to find a way to inspire the audience to take action. Honestly, the most successful advertisers usually have some sort of gimmick to go along with it, and that's just not my style. Advertisers love to talk about brand awareness, and if you have a very big business, oftentimes your clients will notice the ad and it will reinforce the idea that hiring you is a good decision. My real estate coach, Rick DeLucia, likes to call this evidence of success. But the evidence of your success doesn't have to be in the form of an expensive ad in a glossy magazine. When we list the clients who've bought and sold in our quarterly newsletter, that's also part of our evidence of success. Now let's talk about new school ways to communicate. Email. Email is the oldest new school way to communicate. At first, it was cool and it's still effective at times, but people get too much junk emails these days. Do you remember the last time you were excited to get the mail out of the mailbox to see who had written? Yeah, it's probably been a while. Email is on the same path as mass mailed ads because it's not personalized enough. That doesn't mean that you can't use email as one of your marketing methods, though. Make sure that your email content's valuable to your audience and do something to spice it up. Text only doesn't cut it anymore, and adding a photo of you doesn't make the email media rich. Try using services like BombBomb and iJot, which allow you to email video messages. You can also embed videos in your newsletter or link to your website video page or your YouTube channel. Social media. Many people think using social media as marketing is hocus pocus, but it can work wonders if it's done well. Remember, marketing is all about meeting people where they want to meet. And if they're on social media much, this may be the perfect channel for you to connect with them. There are many different social media platforms from Facebook and Twitter to LinkedIn and Instagram and more. If it can be and it can be a black hole of time wasted if you don't have good strategies in place. Most agents use social media to broadcast listings or share market news. I do this a couple times a month to reach out to my clients. But that's generic. It's a good idea to get personal on social media too. People often forget that many social media sites are searchable. Depending on the platform, there are different ways to look for people to start conversations with. The most famous is the hashtag. I'm pretty sure you'd like to meet everyone in your town who says, I need to sell my house. Searching for key phrases can help you start a conversation with new people, particularly millennials who use this communication method almost exclusively. Don't believe me? Here are a couple of fun examples of how people are communicating now. A highly educated couple who are both friends and clients recently announced their pregnancy on Facebook. I couldn't help but notice that first comment was from a sister who asked why she didn't get a call. Sorry, sis, they can't call their 2,000 friends, so you get to learn like everybody else. A few years ago, I found out one of my closest and dearest childhood friends was engaged when my girlfriend noticed his girlfriend's announcements on Facebook. Well, welcome to the new world. Text. I admit I'm a little late on the game using text messaging as a marketing tool. Yeah, why not call? I thought. That's what a phone is for. But that's my personal bias showing through. I love talking on the phone to people. Texting can be a valid method of communicating with your clients, and very intrigued by text messaging as a marketing platform, but you have to seriously be careful here. People are much more likely to read text messages than emails. It's because it's always a real message to that person, just like the letter in the olden days. People see text as very personal, so if you mass text people, you can easily alienate them. This just happened to me when a vendor added me to a text channel group, which followed a cascade of quick unsubscribes, and I was one of the unsubscribers. So if you're going to market via text, make it personal. Video. I was early to the game with video as a marketing tool, and it's likely because I'm very visual. Here's a little secret. Everyone is visual. Video is so powerful because, like advertising, it allows you to talk with everyone, but because the audience can see you, they can more easily connect with you. Video also pairs nicely with social media, and the key advantage here is that it's shareable. When you post a video to your page on social media network, your clients and friends see it, and then if they like it, they'll share it with their friends who will share it, and so on. This is how you say one thing one time but have potential to impact millions of people. Plus, it has infinite shelf life. As long as your messages continue to have value, people can continue to share it. This is vast contrast to traditional advertising, which only lives as long as the newspaper ad or radio spot. Message: what you say. When choosing your message, knowing your big why can really help. A why makes you relevant to the right people. Why makes it easier to know what to say. All your communication needs to be relevant to who your clients are and what they need. In my world, it looks like this. Don't talk about buying your first home to investors, and don't talk about investment opportunities to people who are trying to buy their first home. Knowing who your people are and what stage of life they're in will give you tremendous power in being relevant to them. Do not communicate with your clients unless you're sure what you're saying is valuable to them. I would say the concepts of relevant and valuable are very close cousins, but there's a difference. Relevant means that the audience wants to know the info you're sharing and the timing is right. A good example is sharing a first time buyer's guide with a first time buyer. Valuable is info those same people will appreciate and want to read, even if the timing isn't exactly right. After that first time buyer has moved into his new home, he still wants info on the market, even if he's not going to buy or sell because of that info. Frequency: how many times a year you contact. Frequency is the great balancing act of marketing. If you read Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, you'll see his suggestion that the combined total of your touches or time you contact somebody should be 33 times a year. I call my top clients 4 times a year, email them a valuable e-newsletter monthly, have a client party every year, and send mailed newsletters quarterly. That's 21 contacts per year for my top clients. For leads and potential clients, I call once a year but send the same newsletters. Many agents rarely call their clients and are inconsistent in their marketing, focusing most of their time on reacting to current client requests. While it can be easier to react to the urgent needs of clients, it creates an imbalance in their business. It's so important to set time aside to call past clients to keep the relationship strong. Otherwise, you'll be on a roller coaster that goes up and down based on clients' needs. Solid marketing leads to solid growth. Make sure you look at how many people you have to contact when deciding how many times you'll meet with them or call them. If you have 100 people, that's pretty easy to be in touch a lot, but if you have 10,000 people, you might want to consider how much time you really have to call, or maybe just how many people you need on your team to service that many clients. The retiring agent needs to be able to clearly show what marketing he's been doing and what channels and frequencies work the best for her. Then look at the marketing plan you wrote to include in the contract and make sure there isn't a big gap or marketing piece that doesn't fit the culture of the retiring agent's business and what our clients expect to see. Be sure to include message, not just channel and frequency in the discussion. For example, I'm heavily focused on numbers, and my newsletters often feature articles related to home inventory and home sales volume. If I was retiring and an adopting agent wanted to send my clients football schedules or her favorite recipes, that would look weird to my clients. Other details, other than continuing with the channel, message, and frequency methods used by the retiring agent, there are a few other details that can help make the transition as smooth as possible for the clients too. Comparing what works. While we've just considered the differences in style with marketing, a highly effective way to focus on marketing conversion is to look at the past 2 years of closed deals. When a retiring agent and adopting agents both document where that business came from and evaluate it together, they learn that marketing strategies have worked best for them. Make sure the adopting agent is competent in the same areas that the retiring agent has focused on. If retiring agent business is by referral and the adopting agent only talks about internet leads, then you might have an issue. Client categories. I want to share my thoughts on the difference between past clients, leads, and vendors in marketing. One of the frustrating things about adopting a database is that often people aren't labeled correctly. In a perfect world, you know clearly who the adopted clients are and you can treat them accordingly. Past clients are the lifeblood of your business and need to get more calls and personal attention than the other kinds of clients. Needs Leads need to be contacted quickly, and then you can determine if they're the right client now or in the future clients. Right now, clients are actively buying or selling property and may require daily or weekly attention, while in the future, clients need to get a call once or twice a year until they become right now clients. Some vendors refer tons of business and should be treated like top clients. On the other hand, if they're truly just vendors, they might just get your newsletter and emails. Budget. The frequency in which you contact clients depends on your budget. Two things you need to account for in your budget are money and time. Money to pay for printing, mailing, maintaining websites, subscribing to email systems, and hosting client parties, and time to make the calls, write the newsletters, and follow up with referrals. As I write this, my last mailing to 1,500 cost around 1,000. You can scale that up or down based on how many people you're staying in touch with. Client parties can be fun and casual or exorbitant and spendy. A minimum budget would be $15 a person, and I know how many people like to spend more around 70 to 100 per client. As I mentioned earlier that I love talking on the phone, and when I look at a budget in my time for that, I know I can call about 30 people an hour. That includes voicemails and unanswered calls or bad numbers. The more of a relationship you have with people, the longer the calls take. There's also only so much time anyone can spend calling in a day, so don't think you're going to call people for 8 hours straight. That's just nuts. Accountability. Accountability is pulling it all together and actually doing all the things that you put into your marketing plan. It's critical that the adopting agent consistently provides updates to the retiring agent. It's this accountability that lets you both know the handoff is working for everyone. As an adopting agent, I like the idea of a monthly call or email update to my retiring agents about how the adopted clients were contacted, what was said or sent, and the outcome. Most retiring agents really appreciate the follow up. This is all the retiring agent's time to mention anything he's heard through his social networks, both online and in the real world. When it comes to marketing, there needs to be an agreed upon standard and clear expectation of both activities and results. This takes work all the way through the relationship, from laying out expectations and beginning to keep in touch. It may seem simple on paper, but the hardest part of managing relationship is this. Retiring agents can feel like the adopting agents aren't doing enough to serve their clients, or adopting agents can feel like too much is expected of them. The best way to have good accountability and great results is to put the extra time in the beginning to find the right agent to partner with. The right person makes all the difference. Good marketing at its core is delivering valuable information to the right people at the right time. If you can focus on efforts that educate and inform your clients about marketing or the buying and selling process, you'll be on your way to really connecting with your newly adopted clients. Make sure you have a clear plan for channel, how you contact, message, what you say, and frequency, how many times a year you contact. As your business grows, in some cases exponentially, you'll need systems and tools to make sure your clients are getting consistent contact from you. Great systems make your job easier, and in the next chapter, I'm going to go into detail on the different types of systems and the actual tools that we use on my team. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Make sure the marketing plan is in writing and the accountability meetings are set before you agree to work together. Be open to more traditional marketing. A postcard farm might not be very sexy, but if the retiring agent has been consistent with it and you can adopt it smoothly, it may be very effective. When you have your monthly accountability meetings, ask the retiring agent about potential clients and share your recent marketing efforts so she can share them with your social network. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Have all of your marketing pieces and your marketing schedule available to pass to the adopting agent. Be able to answer questions about how you market to different clients. Know what your marketing budget has been, as well as your metrics on response and return on investment for different marketing efforts. Marketing milestone. Both the adopting agent and the retiring agent have a solid understanding of the past marketing plan and have created and begun to implement a new plan that's effective and sustainable. Chapter 10. Systems. Systems for managing contact can be as simple as checklist or as comprehensive as a client relationship management, a CRM system. The bottom line is to make sure your systems are helping you take care of your clients and your business. Some systems are so complicated you spend most of your time taking care of them instead of them taking care of you. Others don't cover all of your needs. Finding the systems that work best for you is key. This chapter starts off with CRM systems, which manage client contact information, notes, and some scheduling. Other systems you might consider for your business include power dialers for your phone, email systems that tell you who opened the email and what links they clicked, websites that track changes in contact information, and aggregate social media accounts. These all have perks, but you can find yourself down a rabbit hole with systems if you sign up for everything out there. Always ask yourself if the shiny new toy supports your marketing plan, and even if it does, would one of your existing tools take care of the job? It's important for retiring agents and adopting agents to share what systems they're currently using and what purpose they serve. This chapter can be a helpful guide when comparing notes and can help to ensure a great client experience in the future. Client relationship management systems. As technology and internet connectivity increases, the number of CRM systems available continues to grow. I believe your choice of CRM should be based on your marketing plan. The more automated and complex your plan, the more complex your system. The simpler your plan and the smaller your number of people you are working with, the simpler your CRM can be. If choosing a CRM system, you know that the quickest and cheapest option is not necessarily the best choice for the future of your business. If you plan to grow your business as an adopting agent, you need to have systems that can scale up. It's much easier and it saves a ton of time and money to grow into a big system than to constantly have to upgrade, reorganize, and learn new technologies you outgrow smaller systems. I'm speaking from experience here, as my team is currently on version 3 of our CRM, trying to move 4,000 clients from a broken system, which can't even do a full export without crashing, to a new system. This process has taken 4 months and it still isn't done. Before you think we're being lazy, this is the reality of a very tech-savvy and intelligent team that also happens to be very busy servicing clients. There are 5 variables to look at as you decide which systems to use and how to set them up. I'll list them here and then discuss them in detail below. Number of clients. How many people do you have now? How many people do you expect to have in the next 10 years? How you should schedule contacts. How are you scheduling calls, emails, and meetings? And do you need to delegate tasks and appointments to your team? Automation. How many of the client touches in your marketing plan are going to be automated? Reports. Do you want to be able to run reports based on different variables? Examples, how many times this year you've called, emailed, or met with your adopted clients? Social media integration. Do you want social media integration? Answer this one with a yes, even if you don't want to. Social media is only getting more important to business as time goes by. Number of clients. If you're managing more than 100 clients and you want to automate anything, you need a CRM system. If you're working with fewer than 100 clients, you can live with an email address, book, cell phone, and Excel. Either way, it's important that your systems include a place for notes about clients. You might think I'm trying to overcomplicate what goes into your client management, but even if you've done a great job with the Rolodex and a phone, I would propose that you are limiting the number of clients you can serve. As the younger generations become buyers and sellers of real estate, they expect people who serve them to keep up with the technology and communication methods that they use. One thing the retiring agent can't transfer is his memory and experience. That's why the adopting agent has to have a system with searchable notes filled in with details gathered in meetings with the retiring agent. How you schedule contacts. Again, as the number of clients and planned contacts grows, you're going to need to automate some of your marketing and client management. If you have a team or a plan to have one, which is also part of scaling up, you'll need the ability to assign responsibility for clients and delegate tasks to your team. You can get a lot more done quickly if you have people to help you. This also ensures that you can get work done during work time, so you still have time to play golf and go to the gym and take a vacation, know your family, read a good book, and live a good life. Automation. If the word automation scares you, please understand that I don't mean that you should be making robocalls like you get at election time. I hate those. Automation simply ensures that your communication with your clients is consistent and documented. Take, for example, my contact plan for my top clients: quarterly calls, monthly e-newsletters, annual party, quarterly newsletters mailed. That sounds simple, right? Well, not if you have 4,000 people to reach out to and you want to make the message relevant to each of them. Sounds simple now. For me, it works like this. We give each person a category. A client is past clients and people who refer clients. B client, people we think will become clients. A lead, a vendor, and agents. And the way we communicate to people varies depending on their category. Our CRM schedules our calls so we don't accidentally call one A client monthly and another A client annually. The reminder to send the monthly e-newsletters to all clients goes to my marketing person, but we're including video now, so the reminder to make the video goes to me. The time spent every month to create the e-newsletter and video is scheduled in advance. 4 months before the party, we have time to schedule and plan it. The newsletter gets scheduled quarterly as well. This all pops up on our calendar automatically. It takes time to set up, but it saves us more time in our daily operations. Reports. Some people love analyzing the numbers in reports, and some people just want to know if they hit their goal or not. I tend to be big picture, and reports to me are a magnifying glass. If my team is hitting their goals and I'm not terribly concerned about if they called 30 or 50 people this week, that being said, as you scale up, I encourage you to think very big. Reports will be necessary to see what's working and what isn't. Also, as you need to add staff and salespeople grows, having reports will tell you who's working and who's not. Make sure you choose a CRM that will let you run reports on effectiveness of your marketing strategies, what types of clients you have, who's on your team that's working, and with which client, and any other strengths and weaknesses that you want to track. Social media integration. What if every time a client posted anything on social media that was related to your business, Can't wait to get out of this tiny house. Know of any great houses on the market? For example, you were notified. To call them in the near future and exactly what to include in your next email to them. Talk about being relevant. This marketing strategy is so effective that in the very near future, there won't even be CRMs that don't include social media integration. Social media integration allows you to stay current on what your clients are up to, so you can either comment on social media or ask about their latest vacation whenever you call to check in. The real world, I think it's always helpful to see real world examples of the business tools that people are using. New products are becoming available all the time, so do your research necessary to ensure you're choosing the best systems for your office. But here are the systems that my office is using. Check the resources on goldenhandoff.com. CRM Follow Up Boss. We recently started using Follow Up Boss because it's a CRM that integrates social media and works well for teams that need to share client info and assign tasks for each other. It's a web-based and it syncs with Google and Gmail and many more websites and apps. This CRM also uses tagging to sort clients by categories and subcategories. I'm a huge believer in tagging. It's the best way to organize people. So many times in real estate, our clients don't fit into just one category. Take, for example, the mortgage broker vendor who refers clients, a client, buys investment properties, investor, who sold a property 2 years ago, past client, and who's planning on buying a bigger house, future client. We tag clients for all applicable categories so we can be sure to give them information that's valuable in every aspect of their real estate involvement. Follow Up Boss also incorporates email drip campaigns and automatically routes new leads to the different agents on the team. Email. MailChimp. When it comes to sending e-newsletters and other email notifications, you can use your CRM for the basics of creating and sending. However, most CRMs don't track much beyond an email being sent and to whom. MailChimp lets us track more information like how many people opened each email and what links they clicked, and so we can see what they're most interested in. It syncs with our CRM. Phone. Phone burner, Mojo, or Callfire. When it comes to making hundreds of phone calls, punching in all the numbers can take a lot of time. Phone burner and Callfire are power dialers that help us take a category of people, let's say potential buyers, and call them very quickly. They can also leave a pre-recorded voicemail. We record it, it's not a computer voice, and they send automatic follow-up emails. If you can normally call 20 people an hour manually, either of these systems should get you well over 40 calls an hour. Contact Info Aggregator. Contactually or Nimble. Contactually and Nimble are web-based CRMs that let you compile all of your client info into one place, and they track your email to easily add new clients to your client list. Basically, you connect either of these tools to your email and social media, and it grabs all the information of each of your contacts to make one list for you. If you're helping a retiring agent and she doesn't have a solid database, a contact info aggregator like Contactually or Nimbo is a must-have. Even if your retiring agent kept great records, this will help her automatically update all of them and make sure you're not missing any people. Mailing. AdMail. As I've mentioned, I sent mailed newsletters to my clients every quarter. No one wants to print Colgate stuff and address 4,000 of these, though. AdMail does it all for us. And it's all done with high quality printing, including branded envelopes. You can have business cards or coupons inserted as well. The best part of AdMail is it confirms address and gives us report on anyone who's moved since our last mailing. It's perfect for staying in touch with renters who are looking to buy for the first time. IDX, multiple systems. The Internet Data Exchanges, your IDX, basically lets you repackage information from a multiple listing service, namely homes for sale, and put it on your website, email it to clients. This does three things. It gives people the information they want, homes for sale. It asks for the contact info so you can reach out to them. It automates the delivery of the property info that your clients will need to make a buying decision. This is extremely relevant and valuable to clients. A successful retiring agent might have hundreds or thousands of people in his IDX system. This might be a separate client lead database that needs to be integrated into your database in CRM, or depending on the number of clients in the retiring agent's IDS, it might be easier to keep the IDX running than try to migrate all the people to your system. At the end of the day, the systems need to work for you, not the other way around. Use as few tools as possible to do your job well. That's right, I said a few. It's easy to get caught up in adding more and more systems, and sometimes that's necessary, but try to pick systems that can grow with your business and take care of as many tasks as possible so you don't have to be running a lot of different systems. When you find the right combination of systems that works for you, stick with it. Changing system cost and time and money and can frustrate your team. I hope this chapter gave you a short list of systems and tools to consider, but as with all technology, the landscape quickly changes. Take the time to review what works best for you and when you're ready to add a new system or a tool to your arsenal. Now that you've set up your tools so you can reach all the adopted clients efficiently and effectively, you're ready for the biggest and most exciting part of the journey. The Golden Handoff is part where the transaction is announced and you as the adopting agent get to meet your new clients. In the next chapter, I'll explain how to make a great handoff. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Create a chart of the systems the retiring agent is using and needs they accommodate. This should inform you if you have gaps in your system you need to fill. You'll need to help the retiring agent compile and categorize her database. Helping him by using some of the systems can automate much of that process. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Have details on the systems you've been using, even if they were just a Rolodex and a phone. Be able to discuss how you've been scheduling contacts and generating business. Systems milestones. The adopting agent has a solid understanding of both his own systems and the retiring agent's systems. The adopting agent has a contact aggregator that she's comfortable with using and a process to help the retiring agent compile and sort the client database. Chapter 11, The Golden Handoff. What's the secret to telling a great joke? Timing. So goes the old joke my dad loves to telling at parties. The look at his face always sells it. Seriously though, timing is very important. At the same time, if you're running a busy business, there's never a perfect time to announce a big change, and there never will be. Get over it. But that doesn't mean you want to just change gears going full speed. The perfect handoff requires both runners to meet up in sync for only a couple yards of the race. There's a sort of window when they run together, and the timing has to be solid or they lose speed, or even worse, they miss the handoff. The process outlined in this book covers before, during, and after that handoff, but the actual handoff is a sort of stretch when the runners or the careers of both the adopting agent and the retiring agent meet for a second. They run together. If done correctly, you as the adopting agent have everything you need to take the baton and sprint to the finish line. Even after the retiring agent stops running, he's still on the winning team. Contact. In a brief moment when runners are holding pace with each other, they both have their hands on the baton. This is when both the retiring agent and the adopting agent are in contact with the clients. When you decide what type of client contact you want to emphasize during the handoff, I suggest you look to the retiring agent. Her clients will be familiar with her style and what you should emulate. If the retiring agent was doing calls, then for the most part, you should call. If she was socializing with her clients, then get ready to have a party. No matter what, though, the initial few contacts with clients during the Golden Handoff should come from a retiring agent, even if they're facilitated by the adopting agent. First message. The first message is almost always a letter from the retiring agent, so everyone has the notice of impending changeover in writing. To help the retiring agent with this, I have a letter template that each of my retiring agent customizes based on their level of involvement. For Martha's clients, the initial message looked like this. It was great working with you, and thanks for all the business and support. I'm retiring, but I wanted to make sure you still had a great agent to call if you and any family or friends are needing anything. Nick Crowder is an agent who sold 79 properties last year and has impressed me with his energy and skill. You're going to love him. If I buy or sell, he's my guy. She made it clear that she was totally done with real estate, but her clients rest assured I would help them. For Renee's clients, it went like this. It was great working with you, and thanks for all the business and support. I'm very passionate about raising my family and will be spending more of my time doing that. I'm still being active as a consultant in real estate, just doing less of the day to day activities. I wanted to make sure you still had a great agent to call if you or any of your family or friends need anything. Nick Crowder is a great agent who sold 79 properties last year and has impressed me with his energy and skill. You're going to love him. If I buy or sell, he's my guy. I'm available to still answer questions and would love to stay in touch. For any day to day needs, just give Nick a call. Here's a Golden Handoff sample letter. October 5th, 2013. Hi everyone. As you may have heard, my wife and I are heading to Los Angeles for some time to work in the movie scene, and we may be here for a year or longer. We're proud to announce our partnership with one of the top real estate teams in Portland to provide excellent service to you while we are gone. This also allows us to be consultants to Nick and his team for all of you. The team is led by Nick Crowder, who is one of the top agents in the city and also the real estate expert for News Radio 101 FM KXL. Despite the challenging market, Nick's team sold an impressive 79 properties in 2012. Please always feel free to contact me with any questions, as my phone numbers won't change and our website will still be available to you, but rest assured that you are in very capable hands with Nick and his team while we are away. In addition to our weekly Best Deals in Portland email, you'll also start receiving Nick's client information plan, which will provide accurate local information about our real estate market. In the meantime, when you or someone you know is thinking about buying or selling, give us a call. Sincerely, David Belmont, Nick Crowder. With all these letters, I manage and pay for the mailing, but the return address is from the retiring agent. It's their announcement after all. I also include my business card. As you can see from these letter templates, this first contact lets clients know what's happening. One agent is retiring, the other agent is adopting. It's also important to let clients know that they can expect from the adopting agent. Rick DeLucia was one of our top realtors in the country and has since gone on to be a successful real estate coach, speaker, and author. I had the chance to talk with Rick about his process when he transferred his clients to the top two agents in his brokerage. Everyone received a letter and a call from me, he said, but more importantly, every client received a letter from the adopting agent detailing exactly how they'd stay in touch via calls, letters, and client parties. The adopting agent also absorbed my staff, which made the process seamless for the clients and my team. Whether you communicate those expectations for contact in the first message or a subsequent one, it's up to you. Just make sure it happens. Further contacts. After the first message comes from the retiring agent, the next messages are facilitated by the adopting agent. Aim for 3 to 5 total messages and let clients know about the handoff. Go over all handoff materials together first to ensure the message in each accurately reflects the relationship for both the retiring agent and the adopting agent. Here are the exact details of my office's contact methods in adopting the clients of retiring agents. Emails. I like to have retiring agents send the initial announcement letter as an email as well. It's important to include full contact information for the adopting agent in this email. It's a great idea to include video of both agents as part of the email to all the clients. How impressive it is to your new clients that you have sort of a video of both of you and the retiring agent sharing your thoughts on the market. When we include a video from the retiring agent, our percentage of emails opened goes from 25% to 50%. It's a remarkable increase in effectiveness. Calls. Time the first calls depending on priority level of the client. For top clients, have the retiring agent call before the letter goes out. If these very valuable clients just receive a letter, they won't feel nearly as valued as they will when they get a personal call first. Then, in a perfect world, the retiring agent will call all of her clients after the letter goes out. Retiring agents, I know this might not feel possible if the client list is very large, but it's worth doing to let clients know that they're valued and generate business. Remember, you both benefit from the sales that come out of the efforts, so just connect with the power dialer and rock through it. The second call comes from the adopting agent, and this has to happen for every single client. The first call from you is critical to establishing the adopting agent's relationship with the newly adopted clients. It's also a great way to find new opportunities from clients who maybe haven't talked with a retiring agent for a while. My favorite script goes like this. Hey, it's Nick Crowder from Keller Williams Real Estate. You got a letter recently from retiring agent, and I promised her I would call and introduce myself and check to see if you need anything. Oh yeah, I saw the letter. So she's retiring, huh? That's right. I'll be handling all the day-to-day duties going forward. Do you plan on buying, selling, or investing this year? Oh no, I love my house. Well, wonderful. We have great vendors for everything house related. So if you need a referral for, say, a plumber, call us first. By the way, who do you know who might want to make a move this year? I'm not sure, but it's really nice that you called and that she was thinking of me. I'll certainly refer anyone to you in the future. Thank you so much. I'll send you my market updates to your email and quarterly newsletters. Our email address and mailing address, correct? I also like to call and check in a few times a year, and you can always call me too. Have a great day. Customize the script as you see fit, but I highly recommend using the phrase, I promised retiring agent I would call. Surprisingly powerful, and it sets the tone that you have integrity and follow through. Also, practice the script before you call so you're less likely to get tongue tied. I'm always pleasantly surprised at how happy adopted clients are to get a call from me and how much it means to them that their previous agent still cares about them. Renee always tells me how their past clients appreciate time I take to call them. About 3 out of 4 calls just go to voicemail, but the fact that I still take the time to call the adopted clients makes a big impression. Again, you can use the power dialer to quickly walk through the list. This also gives you report of bad numbers and allows you to automatically send emails to those people. The system tracks which email address bounce as well. Meetings. The more the retiring agent's business was based on referrals, the more personal contact you'll need to keep with referring people. In person meetings are especially important when the retiring agent has specific clients he talked with all the time. For example, if the retiring agent has a builder client who relies on him to find land and then list the newly built homes with them, this is someone who deserves an in person meeting. When the retiring agent has clients who consistently refer new clients or who frequently buy and sell, then they are also worth meeting. I'd be surprised if any retiring agent have more than 5 clients who are this important, so set aside the time to foster these relationships. Meeting up can be casual and fun, or it can be formal. Learn the retiring agent's methods and follow suit. Party. When the retiring agent has a lot of friends and social relationships with the clients, a party is a great way to have fun and also meet lots of people personally. I mentioned earlier that personal contact has the biggest impact on clients, but you can always have a conversation one person at a time. A party is the way to meet lots of people really efficiently and effectively, and people love those who give them free food and drinks, maybe door prizes or even takeaway bags. When it's done right, it's shocking how many people want to ask questions of the adopting agent. When I adopted David's clients, I knew they tended to be 30 to 40 years old and mostly in the creative and arts industry. So for this handoff, we had a party and rented out an entire bar in a hip part of town. It was a great night, and my clients and I formed strong relationships with David's clients. 1 out of every 3 people who came to the party either had a referral or wanted to schedule a follow up meeting. When it comes to planning the party, keeping in mind that not all clients in the database need or want a party, I usually expect 30 to 40% of invitees to attend, which is the good planning guide when you're deciding on space rental and food and drink budgets. Have something for guests to take home that includes information about you, your market, and how to reach you. I use my annual Portland real estate report. You can see the report as well on www.sellpdx.com/resources/investors. Social media. If the retiring agent has been using social media, this is a great way to make an announcement and ask her clients to like, friend, and follow, connect, or sign up with the adopting agent. The hard part is how the adopting agent connects with the retiring agent's social network. The past social media contacts with the retiring agent are like a private conversation, and you can't just butt in and expect to be received warmly. Again, The key is timing and asking clients to connect with you. To start with, I include my business's social media information on emails, letters, newsletters, and so on, so clients can know that they can connect with me that way. If the adopted client came to a party or a meeting, or spoke with me on the phone, or emailed me back, then I'd ask them to connect with me on social media. Notice that I let an old school method of contact happen first. Then again, I'm kind of old fashioned. Some clients use social media as their primary communication method, though it's not just for engagement announcements. A while back, I took Facebook off my phone because I felt I was wasting time on the app, but after a month, I reinstalled it because I get so many client messages through that channel. The retiring agent might have two, and those clients communicate almost exclusively through social media, waiting for replies to old school methods might not be effective. The retiring agent can save the adopting agent a lot of trouble by identifying which clients use social media as their primary communication method during that clearly meeting to discuss client details. No matter how or when you connect with adopting agents online, remember that social media is about sharing value, not being pushy or promoting yourself. For a great book on social media, read Jeffrey Gitomer's Social Boom. Gitomer's book gave my company the framework we use for our social media channels. The handoff is the most exciting part of the race because it's almost the most difficult part. It's critical to have clarity and consistency in messages from both the retiring agent and the adopting agent, so the adopted clients see continuity and feel trusting. Once the retiring agent has called her top clients, it's the adopting agent's turn to carry the message forward and mail, email, and call to introduce himself to the new clients and get to know them. During the first round of contact, add to the notes that you received from the retiring agent. If things go well, you should be scheduling follow up calls and appointments and even tallying up a few referrals. Let the adopted clients know they'll be getting your updates, calls, and newsletters based on how you plan to stay in touch. An excellent handoff is the start of a great relationship, so make sure you give it the time that it deserves. If done well, this one step could more than double your business. In the next section, I'll cover what happens after the handoff and share my advice to the retiring agent on letting go and allowing the adopting agent to run the show. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent. Budget the time and money to send the handoff announcement letters and make the calls. Have the retiring agent sign off on all the handoff materials and scripts and practice your script before you call. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent. Choose your level of involvement before you let your clients know you're stepping back or completely done. The tone of your message and the type of contact that you plan should be based on the relationships you have with your clients. Your clients will be more supportive of you than you expect, so don't be afraid to call them. Handoff milestones. The retiring agent has called his top clients and signed off on all the Golden Handoff marketing. The adopting agent has mailed, emailed, and called everyone in the adopted database. Part 5. The finish line. Once the handoff is made, all eyes turn to the finish line. The adopting agent has the baton and is sprinting out the last steps of the race. In an actual race, the winner crosses the finish line first. In the Golden Handoff, a team has won when the adopting agent has responsibility for the adopted clients. He continues to run full speed ahead while the retiring agent gets to actually retire. She's run her part of the race. Now it's time for the retiring agent to fully trust the adopting agent and let go of control. Winning the Golden Handoff could last for many years if done correctly. Both agents will have years of added business and referral income. When you run a solid race, even the adopted client gets to share in the victory. Chapter 12. Retiring Agents. Letting go. After the handoff has gone smoothly, all that's left for the retiring agent to do is let go. This is sometimes easier said than done, though. Retiring agents, this chapter is for you. Adopting agents should still read it to be aware of their partner's role in this stage and pay attention to the tips and tricks section. Have confidence. When you've found the right person to take care of your clients and all the handoff letters have been mailed, notices sent, statuses updated, and marketing completed, there's one thing left to do: let go. I know this part is so hard because you've run your business a certain way, you've given specific advice, and you have history and rapport with your clients. You can't help but to worry. What if the adopting agent gets a call from one of your best people and he thinks it's a signed call from a stranger? Your head's spinning with all the ways this could go, way less than perfect. Remember, though, you've been careful in this process to do your due diligence and take the time to find the right person. Then you took the time to understand how he runs his business, bigger picture, and how he works with clients, small picture. Once you agreed to work together, you took the time to go over your notes together and talk it all out so the adopting agent could create his own notes. You agreed on marketing plans and schedule updates, and because of all that communication, you felt confident in the process. If you've done the handoff well and the adopting agent is holding up his end of the bargain, then you can trust that great results will follow. For Renee, it was hard to step back and being just a consultant because she earnestly cared so much for her clients and wanted things to go well. It took her time to feel okay with letting go a bit, but the more she saw how my team and I worked and the more positive feedback she received from her past clients, the more she was able to let go. Other than the specific duties you've agreed to do based on your involvement level, let the adopting agent run the show. I can assure you, as an agent who has adopted multiple databases, that is a good endorsement. It's all that's needed from the retiring agent to set the tone for a great relationship with the adopted clients. Retiring agents often think that their clients will still hear their advice or need their answers. The good news, although it might be a little hard on your ego, is that your clients are going to be fine with your adopting agent's advice and marketing plan. There are rare times when I ask a retiring agent to re endorse me or confirm my advice with a client, but it is truly the exception. Trusting in your adopting agent. That's the way to go. Retire. Remember, you did all this so you could retire from real estate. Allow yourself to do all the things that you dreamed of doing in retirement or your new venture, including getting paid. Your adopting agent will close the deals and you'll still get to receive commission checks for years to come. It's human nature and good business to have exceptions for what commission income might look like, and this, of course, based on the number of closed deals. As you already know, this will vary depending on the market and many other variables, but to set an average expectation, consider a percentage of your business that was repeat and referral. Let's say, for the sake of this example, it's 75%. Multiply your client list by 75% and then divide it by 10 based on the median numbers of years between a move. This should give you a reasonable number of deals per year. So for someone with a database of 200 clients, it looks like this: 200 clients times 75% equals 150 repeat and referral clients. 150 divided by 10 equals 15 deals per year. Once you have an expectation, as I've said many times throughout this book, communicate with your adopting agent about it. If both people know the expectations, you'll be able to keep track of how you as a team are doing, both with activities and results. If kudos as well as numbers are important metrics for you, then your adopting agent can forward all testimonials and reports to you so you can see this success. If the results are well below expectations, it might be worth it for both agents to evaluate methods and look for ways to improve. There are a couple of things to remember when evaluating results, though. Be sure to acknowledge that some of the clients will not be future repeat clients. Even the most consistent marketing and contact, no one has a perfect batting average. Remember this when you hear of clients who are working with someone other than your adopting agent. This just happens sometimes, and it may not be for any fault of your adopting agent or their team. On the other hand, if you do receive negative feedback about your adopting agent from your past client, be sure to let your adopting agent know. The goal is to help him improve his odds of winning business. If you receive positive feedback, Let him know that too. You'll inevitably run into or hear from some clients, especially if you're at a level of involvement where you still reach out to clients and you can ask them outright for feedback. The important thing to remember is that when you do the work up front, you give yourself the best chance for success. Then you can really let go and enjoy your freedom. That said, sometimes even the best laid out plans don't work. So, in the next chapter, I'll discuss how to jump hurdles that might come up if absolutely necessary, how to call off the race. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent: get testimonials and share positive emails from adopted clients with retiring agent. Keep track of activities and results and share them whenever you do your monthly update with the retiring agent. Some retiring agents will need a lot of reassurances so that you can handle the meetings and deals and they don't need to be heavily involved. Be patient. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent: ask clients for feedback after they've met the adopting agent. If you've picked the right person, you'll get a positive response. If there are concerns, you can alert the agent so that he can improve. Have realistic expectations based on your past business. When the adopting agent lets you know that one of your past clients might make a move, be sure to let him know all you remember about that client. Letting go milestones. The retiring agent has set the expectations and let the adopting agent take the lead. The retiring agent keeps track of updates and production based on the number of clients adopted and activities of the adopting agent. Chapter 13: Hurdles. As you probably know, most relay races involve just a baton, not hurdles. And yet, sometimes in the Golden Handoff, there will be hurdles, difficult situations that require some effort to get the partnership back on track, or maybe even lead to the decision to end the Golden Handoff agreement. I believe that if the retiring and adopting agents have taken the time to read this book and go through the full process of finding the right agents, have a clear marketing schedule, execute the transition plan, and set expectations, the transition will succeed. But what happens if it's not working? I'd love to not even include this chapter, but I feel it's necessary to talk about an exit strategy. You see, on the first database I adopted, I was the second adopting agent, not the first. I had watched from the sidelines and learned a lot. It's easier to pick up patterns from this position, and problems and solutions are more obvious when you're not in the middle of the race. Although I've never had to break off a relationship as a retiring agent, I've watched other such relationships from the sidelines to observe what worked and not worked. Much of my advice in this chapter comes from those observations. Course adjustment. Before either of you decide to stop the race altogether, see if there's a possible course adjustment that will allow you to deal with the hurdles and still win the race. Maybe there's a part of the plan that hasn't been working well but can be fixed, or perhaps there's an assumption that needs to be communicated. This relationship requires mutual support. The retiring agent needs to give the adopting agent the right people in the database, endorse the adopting agent, and communicate any contacts she receives. The adopting agent is responsible not just for the transition, but also the ongoing marketing and service for years. The activities are absolutely something that you can hold each other accountable for, but the results are also critical. This isn't just about practicing, after all, it's about winning, it's about results. So identify problems from each agent's perspective. Adopting agents. The most common problems adopting agents face are challenges with the database, getting endorsements from the retiring agent, and communication in general. The database. If you're an adopting agent having trouble with the retiring agent's database, you might be noticing that lots of people listed in their database as clients are actually leads, vendors, or contacts the retiring agent hasn't even met. I once took over a database for which half the people came from door knocking farm, but I didn't know that. Remember, I'm a caller, not a door knocker, so the clients were all pretty surprised to get a call from me, and many didn't remember the retiring agent at all. If you start seeing a pattern like this as you're calling and emailing everyone, meet with the retiring agent again and recategorize the database. Then you can make sure the message is relevant to the clients. Endorsement. I've seen adopting agents find out their retiring agents didn't call the clients or may not have even called their top clients. If people were surprised to get your letter or call, meet again with the retiring agent and ask him to call, email, and post to social media one more time to make sure the announcement gets through to his clients. With every contact, both active and passive, the retiring agent needs to reinforce his trust in you and endorse your character and competence. Communication. You might find out that clients are still talking with the retiring agent and he's not notifying you about these contacts quickly or even at all. Meet again with the retiring agent to reinforce that any contact with the past clients that mentions business in any way needs to be communicated to you promptly. Remind the retiring agent how important it is that you look informed and follow up with your adopted clients. It's the only way you'll be able to close deals and provide great service to your adopted clients and income for both of you and the retiring agent. Hold up your end of the communication too. If you make a mistake, tell them about it and then take the next steps to fix it. Full disclosure helps the team work together to get over the hurdles. Retiring agent. Common problems I've noticed with retiring agents have included the adopting agent veering from the agreed upon plan, not closing very many deals, and again, communication. Plan. If you're checking in with the adopting agent and find out that she didn't make the calls as scheduled or his newsletter is being sent inconsistently, it's fair to set up a meeting about expectations. You need to keep her accountable to the marketing plan. Remind them that the marketing plan is part of your contract and you expect them to stick with it. If she complains that she's too busy, remind them that the agreed to add staff if needed to service your clients. Closing deals. It could happen that your adopting agent mentions he's getting meetings, but there haven't been any closings or new listings for the past few months. Try to figure out if the agent needs some coaching on closing or his approach isn't working for your clients. Let the adopting agent know up front that you'll touch base with his clients not to endorse him, but to also get feedback on his performance. Remember, you should have chosen an agent with a track record of success, and if you've done so, this will likely not be an issue. Keep perspective and consider how much weight you want to put on activities versus results. If the adopting agent has a different style than you and he misses a couple of marketing points, but he's getting results, it's probably a bad idea to call off the race. Communication. If you realize it's been a few months since you've heard from your adopting agent, check in to make sure everything's okay. Make sure you set a date and time to catch up every month. I put it in my calendar that I update my retiring agents the first Monday of the month. That way it becomes habit for us both. Communication is key for you too, especially in conflict resolution. No matter what your concerns, voice them. If the issue continues, put the adopting agent on notice that you expect her to hold up the end of the agreement. If it's becoming clear it's not working out, then take action to call off the race. Calling it off. If, as the retiring agent, you've tried conflict resolution to get over the hurdles on your Golden Handoff course, and your adopting agent is still having issues that affect you and your clients, it's time to make a move quickly in finding a new adopting agent. Make sure you don't make the same mistake with the next successor. You need to ensure your clients are removed from the adopting agent's database and all marketing systems. When you find a new agent, you'll need to spend more time calling your clients to explain that the first adopting agent wasn't working at your level of expectations and that the service your clients receive is very important to you. At this point, it's about containing the damage, but be aware that you're not going to keep all the clients if you make a transition like this. The good news is only a small percentage of clients will have an active need at the time of the changeover, so although it will feel like a big deal to you and to your clients, it's not going to be important unless they were about to make a move anyway. If they were, take care of them the best you can. Note, however, that anyone in contract with an agent should stay with the same agent. If you're an adopting agent and you are considering calling off your partnership with your retiring agent, the process would likely be the same, but for different reasons. Adopting agents need to stick with the program even if the initial rounds of contact don't lead to immediate results. If you find adopted clients who are upset with the retiring agent, you can either try to convert them and ask for another chance based on how you do things differently, or simply delete them from the database. You're not going to keep everyone, even with the best plan and execution. Be sure to confirm with the retiring agent that they're okay with you deleting their clients as you judge necessary. If they're not okay with it, you can simply mark them as do not contact and archive their client info and history. My hope is that you don't have to deal with calling off a golden handoff. If the results aren't there, then make sure you look first to the plan. Does the adopting agent's marketing and style align with the retiring agent's? Then look to the activities. Is the plan being executed well by both agents? Finally, look to the results. Do the closings match up with what you both expected? The cardinal sin in the golden handoff is the adopting agent not executing the plan. If the adopting agent is making the calls and executing the marketing plan, the results will follow. While I advocate making a quick change if things aren't working out, the retiring agent needs to give the adopting agent time to grow her connection with the adopted clients. As all agents know, success is not an overnight phenomenon. Success in real estate takes a great plan, great people, and time. Tips and tricks for the adopting agent: make sure to schedule activities and track results. If you miss a milestone in the marketing plan, be honest about it and fix it quickly. Most of the activities that you need the retiring agent to complete are on the front end. If there's an issue up front, there will likely be more later. So, how important this is to you before you commit your time and resource is to the clients is it needs to be handled. Tips and tricks for the retiring agent: make sure you do your activities, or you won't have credibility with the adopting agent if he's not doing his activities. Make sure your expectations are clear. Attempt conflict resolution a couple times before you decide to call off the golden handoff agreement with the adopting agent. Hurdle milestones. You know you don't have to call off the race right away, and you are trying to conflict resolution first. If you have to call it off, it's done promptly and with just cause. Chapter 14: Winning the Race. Congratulations, you made it. You built your team, started strong, made the golden handoff, and crossed the finish line. If you're a retiring agent, I hope this book has given you the tools to find the right adopting agent and given you the chance to retire earlier and with more money in the bank for years to come. If you're the adopting agent still growing your business, I hope this book has helped you hit your goals and serve as many people as you choose. Thank you for taking the time to read it. Adopting agents, please take these ideas and practices and put them into action. It's only when you take action that any of this matters. I didn't spend hours and days and months of my life writing this book just to entertain you. I spent this time to change your life and help you change the life of retiring agents and adopted clients. I want you to feel the sense of fulfillment that comes when a retiring agent tells you that your work helped them buy an income property, take her dream vacation, fund college for a child, or simply pay the mortgage when the times were tight. It feels amazing to help someone at this level. As I write this conclusion, we're starting a new year, a time to reflect on days past and a future yet to come. The promise of the golden handoff has never been stronger in my mind, as I'm having the best start to any year in my career with millions of closings from adopted clients is just the first few months of the year. Almost every person I've shared this idea with has gone on to share it with the people that they know. Before this book is even done, I'm getting requests from agents all over the world who want to learn this process. I'm reminded with every request just how much of a need there is for a simple and practical retirement solution in the real estate world. I am proof that it works, and you can make fortunes if you follow the path. I hope this Also, that retiring agents will no longer walk away from all the work and the value they've created during their years of service to their clients. Without any models to follow, retiring agents have been left to either walk away empty handed or invent a system, but not anymore. This book provides a solid framework for a golden handoff that extends the run for retiring agent and gives a head start for the adopting agent. Many great ideas in the world are simple. Success, losing weight, getting in shape are all fundamentally simple. Yet, simple isn't always easy, as many people looking at the bathroom scale can attest to. As entrepreneur and a motivational speaker John Rim said, "What is easy to do is always easy not to do." I believe the golden handoff is pretty simple, but it takes planning, effort, and consistency to really make it work. I promise you that the effort will be worth it if you to you and your business. Once you understand the value of a retiring agent's database and relationships, you simply need to make the connection and start the conversation. I'm a good salesperson, but honestly, this is a pretty easy pitch since everyone wins so big. Most agents planning on retiring have no idea there is an option available like the golden handoff. After you start the conversation and have agreed to work together, this book provides the steps to integrate the adopted clients into your business regardless of the tools you currently use. I suggest you compare marketing plans with the retiring agent and agree on future marketing plan. Make sure you have the systems and staff to handle the growth. It's important to plan for success. The scale of your growth is based on the number of clients you're adopting. It's also based on the number of databases you're adopting. Do not underestimate the time it takes to call your new clients a couple times a year and address the whoa, I'm so sorry. Do not underestimate the time it takes to call your new clients a couple times a year and the added cost in staff and marketing. And of course, it's important to understand how involved the retiring agent will be and to coordinate your efforts. Once the groundwork is laid and the contract is signed, you get to do the fun part, the actual handoff. The handoff is the coordinated announcement by both the retiring and adopting agent, communicating that the retiring agent has a new involvement level and that the adopting agent is now the main point of contact. A good handoff sets the stage for a win win. The adopting agent wins new clients, the retiring agent gets honors her clients and wins referral income for years to come. The client wins a trusted resource in their newly adopted agent. The retiring agent can easily find new people to refer with very little effort, and with a great adopting agent and the contract in place, she has a good reason to keep on the lookout for new clients. If everything goes well and both agents hold up their end of the deal, the retiring agent will be able to really let go and still benefit from all the work in her real estate career. I believe that the Golden Handoff will create new connections within the community of real estate agents all over the world. Retiring agents will have a reason to connect with their peers to find the best adopting agent. Up and coming agents will have reasons to stay in touch with their mentors even after they've learned the business. This one simple idea will help you grow your business exponentially. This is one simple idea will give retiring agents income long after they're done with the day-to-day responsibilities of being an agent. This one simple idea is yours. Like the sprinter in the first leg of the relay race, I'm handing you the baton in a golden handoff. Now go change your world. You might amaze yourself with how far you get. That is a great book. I'm going to continue to read the ending of it. We've got some resources and acknowledgments and about the author, and I want to say thank you for your patience. This is the first time I have read out loud in years. I know I made a few mistakes. Sorry, I'm working on it. I just believe the information is golden. And I would love to hand off the information. So, the resources. The following resources will be helpful to adopting agents as well as retiring agents as you go through the Golden Hands-Off process. Good luck. Websites: The Golden Handoff, www.goldenhandoff.com. Check my websites for updates, checklist, videos, blog posts, and information on the current systems my team is using. Active Rain, www.activerain.com. This agent community is a great resource for question and answers on all real estate topics. Inman, www.inman.com. Follow real estate news on this comprehensive site. National Association of Realtors, www.realtor.org. Check out the research and statistics section. Podcast, Real Estate Rockstars, www.hib and digital, HIB and digital.com. Super Agents Live, www.superagents with an S live.com. The Whiteboard, www.pipelinewizard.com/whiteboard, like WHITE, whiteboard. Books, The 4 Disciplines of Execution, Achieving Your Wildly Important Goals by Chris McChinsey, Sean Covey, and Jim Huling. I may read some of those too. The Compound Effect, Jumpstart Your Income, Your Life, Your Success by Darren Hardy. The Icarus Deception, How High Will You Fly by Seth Godin. The Little Black Book of Connections, 6.5 Assets for Networking Your Way to Rich Relationships by Jeffrey Gitomer. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller and Dave Jenkins and Dave Papasan. 9 Minutes on Monday, The Quick and Easy Way to Go from Manager to Leader by James Robbins. The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Switch, How to Change Things When Change is Hard by Chip Heath and Dan Heath. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. To Sell is Human, The Surprising Truth About Moving Others by Daniel H. Pink. Start with Why, How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action by Simon Sinek. Social Boom, How to Master Business Social Media to Brand Yourself, Sell your product, dominate your industry market, save your butt, or you can grind your competition into the dirt by Jeffrey Gitomer. Free extras. Email me at nick@goldenhandoff.com for copies of the contracts, scripts, and insider information on how to put the Golden Handoff to work for you. Acknowledgements. This book has been in the works for the past couple years. As I continue to experience the impact that adopting clients has made on my business and how much it's meant to the retiring agents, I've been more and more motivated to share these ideas. And I want to thank my parents, Gary and Karen Crowder, and for the friends who encouraged me to get into real estate. I still love the business, and I'm grateful for every day I get to help people buy, sell, and invest. I want to thank Rick DeLucia, who's coached me and helped me build my team. I continue to be amazed at the depth of his knowledge and generosity of his time. To Allie McCart, my editor, for encouraging me to go deeper and helping me grow this idea into a book. To all of the authors and thought leaders who've inspired me: Jeffrey Gitomer, Gary Keller, Jay Papasan, Chip and Dan Heath, Sean Actor, John Maxwell, Darren Hardy, Hugh McLeod, Tim Ferriss, and especially Seth Godin for the encouragement to ship my revision on time. To the agents, lenders, and friends who read my first draft and helped me make this book much better. To Mindy Sullivan, who was equal parts broker, coach, therapist, and a friend. To my agent mentors, Morgan Davis, Rob McAdams, Randy Engfler, and Warren Schumacher, and to everyone who's so generous with their time and advice. I want to thank Gary Keller, Keller Williams Realty, for all the amazing classes, training, and coaching. I had a huge head start by beginning here. Thanks to Gary Keller for being a bigger real estate geek than I am, and for investing so much in research and training and for sharing all of it. Thanks to my team, past and present. There's no way I could have gotten this far without all of us working together. To Bo Hedlund for letting me use her cabin in Central Oregon, where I wrote the majority of this book. I'm forever grateful to all my clients who have trusted my team and me to guide them through one of the most significant events in their life. A huge thank you to all the agents who trusted me to care for their clients. Finally, I want to thank my brother, Mike Crowder, a gifted photographer, perpetual optimist, and my best friend. About the author, Nick Crowder is a realtor in Portland, Oregon, where he leads a team and frequently serves as a real estate expert for the media. Crowder is an avid golfer, writer, reader, and talker who enjoys all the food, drink, and adventures that can be found in the great Northwest. He's unusually tall and once lived on a sailboat. He loves his job and still gets up early, excited about what each day holds. If you ever need real estate help in the Portland area, you can find Nick and his team here, www.sellpdx.com. Thank you so much. The Golden Handoff.